to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, back from Florida, Dion Green.
Big baby boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. We are at it again. And listen, it can't get much better than this. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
That is a true statement. But I would like to correct you because it can get better. We have the Bombay bad boy himself, Big Red Nick Utah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here this wonderful week. As usual, lots to talk about. I'm glad Dion's back from his stay in Florida, his home away from home or whatever. I don't know. How long were you there, buddy? It seemed like you were there like a whole month or something. Were you trying to move? What's happening?
He's still there. That's just a green screen back wall.
Yeah. Well, I was there for a week, and then particularly last week with the show, I was just in and out of napping on the couch. But that's unrelated. But that's
okay,
still right.
We didn't even hear about that, folks. Dion, that's a first for us. He slept through the show.
He's like, what time is it? Oh, fuck it, they don't need me.
He's like, no, I missed it. Shit.
I was like, fuck. Hillary was like, you were tired.
Yeah, buddy.
Your wife's covering for you now. Okay, there you go.
I slept through the High Council many times.
True. That is also true.
Yeah, and nobody cared. But folks, Kendo will be here tonight. All 4 WCBS members will be here in the flesh, well, digitally as you watch us live. But we have a big show planned for you guys. Folks, we have all sorts of stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about a new trailer. We have our fake headlines. We got to talk a little bit about the Minecraft movie, the JFK Files, Snow White's out, Assassin's Creed's out, the world's falling apart, but we're here. Like Dion says, it doesn't get much better than this. We got it great. You got it great. We're here live right now. And it gets even better, though. I'm going to contradict myself one more time because the wonderful folks in the chat are here in droves to show us some love. So, folks, Sejorjan is a new member, but Sejorjan, you've been around forever, and we appreciate you. And Sejorjan is also very excited about tonight's show. Now, tonight's show is very special because it's episode 436. And, they say that all numbers are created equal, but when you look at us and you look at other podcasts, that's just not true. Why? Because we have Steiner Math.
They say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the 3-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
Thank you, Sejorjan. Now, let's start talking about what Sejorjan said in the super chat. Let's see if deleting this doesn't kill us. Okay, it just deleted the background. Great. So let's switch over to this. So, folks, Sejorjan says, the title should be revised to, what do JFK, Snow White, and Assassin's Creed Shadows have in common? You laugh. That was the original title, Sejorjan, but I thought it was too long, but I do agree, because we're going to talk about that piece of crap in a minute. How bad must you be to get a country's government to look into your cultural vandalism and hire a known terrorist sympathizer to shill for your game? Well, Nick, while Dion's away, let me tell you something. There is a lot of anger. This is from the Japanese government, which I think is justified, but Japan is very angry over Ubisoft's depiction of their new Assassin's Creed Shadows game. Nick, the reason why they're offended and angry and want to take up legal action is because they're casting it full of historical inaccuracies. And that's, I believe, a law in Japan with their historic content. Well, anyway, long story short, Ubisoft said, fuck them. We're from Canada, and we're going to make a black dude with dreads, a samurai. And the internet has been in an uproar over this for a long time. And now, I don't care because I think Assassin's Creed sucks. But I will say that from the periphery, the reviews of this game are a little bit fishy because everyone has been saying pretty much the exact same thing. It's a return to form, and it gets a specific score. So that's where I'm paying attention. I do think there's a lot of bought and paid for reviews for this game. But audiences are never wrong. They say the customer is always right. What that means doesn't mean that the opinion's always right. It means their wallets dictate what is right. So we'll see what is up with this game. But have you guys heard about the Assassin's Creed Shadows controversy?
I have not. Not at all.
I heard about it when it was first coming out. Yeah. But obviously, besides that, not a lot of in-depth information as per the fucking usual. Video game journalism ain't good on either side. So,
nope.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think there are good video game journalists out there. And I know everyone's got a favorite. I like Colin Moriarty. He was legit. He quit IGN. I don't have a problem with him. But like, there are other ones that are just like, you look at them and they're just a commercial. And I understand it's their job. I'm not here to knock them personally. But as a consumer, somebody who goes to their website, I look at like IGN exclusively for what is a trailer going to be, or where can I get this game? What's a release date? I go to them for concrete facts about releases and stuff like that. But opinion pieces, I don't give a shit. When it comes to these long form reviews, I scroll down to the bottom, I look at the score they give it, and I go, all right, well, I wasn't going to buy this game based on the trailer, and I don't trust IGN, so I'll wait till Game Pass, or I'll just never buy this game. And I feel like that's a lot of people, because a lot of these journalists, no matter what their political affiliations are, they promote bad games that people don't like, and, well, the gaming industry is in a weird place right now, especially in the West.
It is, and like, I used to watch Attack of the Show and things like that for gaming stuff, and G4 and stuff like that for the gaming information, because it was good back then. It was pretty solid. Now I just don't care. I'll play what I want. If I come across something and it's cool, or you guys suggest something and I should try it, and it's on Game Pass and it's not going to cost me a lot, I'll give it a try. I'm very set, like music. I'm very set in my ways of like what I like, what I'm going to play, what I'm going to spend my time on, and things like that. Like, I mean, I went crazy when I kept asking you and Phil questions about Cyberpunk when I was at the convention. Remember? And I just recently started playing Red Dead 2, and I love it.
It's a great
I'm
game.
back in it. Yeah, I'm back in it. I have a nice open world. I can do what I want. I love that game right now. I'm playing the hell out of it.
Dude, it's a great game.
Yeah, that's what I prefer. Like, I can do what I want. I can roam around. I don't have to do the missions. I can just accumulate a lot of money and just do a bunch of dumb shit if I want to. It's great. It's wonderful.
Dion, what are you playing these days?
I'm playing a lot of older games. I have not jumped back into the new game. I still have to get Spider-Man 2, but yeah, I mean, I've been replaying a bunch of Skyrim. That's been the big thing for me. I'm still in and out of that. Really, I'm trying to get done with the Warhammer Inquisitor game so I can do the new Space Marine game. So I've been slowly doing that stuff. So it's to Nick's point about liking what you like. I'm pretty much in the same way now, especially getting older. I'm going back. I've been going back and playing a lot of the Modern Warfare, the remaster that came a couple of years ago. I just been fucking jumping on that. So
it looks good.
I've not been venturing into new gamedom, so to speak. But especially because I'm still waiting. I really got to get my shit together so I can go and finish God of War, then play Ragnarok. So I haven't even opened that yet. So that Ragnarok is on the agenda.
Did you buy yourself a PS5 yet?
Not yet. Nope.
You deserve one. And Matt, may I suggest, while you're treating yourself, because you are the hardest working dad in Michigan, get yourself a copy of WWE 2K25. I'm not a promotional shill for any company. Nobody pays us to advertise for it. But as a fan, Dion, the last 3 wrestling games, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So the last 4 games have been consistently good to the point where they actually do improve upon the gameplay. It is so fun to play these games now. Like, I know this is a stupid thing to like, but you can go into the ring and get a football and you can throw it and you can play catch in the game. And I know that sounds dumb, but if you fuck up and miss, the ball hits you in the face and you fall down like you got attacked with a chair. It's so fun.
That's good.
That's awesome. That's great.
Dude, Nick, you'll like this. You can take tables, light them on fire, slam people through them. You can hit them with light tubes, giant Slim Jims. Like, it's so much fun, and the graphics are great.
Yeah, all I've been doing in Red Dead is just killing people who have stagecoaches and then like fencing them with the guy and just getting a lot of money.
Dude, what you should do is you should rob a stagecoach, park it on a train track, and let a train hit it. and just watch everything fly apart.
I did watch a video of a guy like how to make the most money. It's basically you have to like rob a train and then drive it into a tunnel, stop it, and then kill all the guards. Then you go through and rob everybody and then kill them and take the money again. And then you blow up both safes for whatever safe is on there and take all the money and then you walk away. And you end up with like $500 or $1,000 every time you do it.
And it's an $1886, so you're a millionaire by today's standards, folks.
Exactly. Then you go and fence like their jewelry and stuff as well. So yeah. So it's a whole process. But you can get a lot of money, doing that a couple of times. And there he goes.
He's going to do it right now. You know what, Nick? So am I. Folks, we'll be back next week with more. Thank you for watching.
What the fuck?
I'm right back here. I can't go. I love this shit. Dion's back too. It's called technical difficulties. Dion, I left in solidarity with you, my friend.
Good man. Good. Listen, we ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life.
I have to throw up like a non-offensive fist. So instead of like doing like the Black Power fist, I do the John Bender fist from the end of the Breakfast Club, so no one can get offended on the internet. It's like, yeah.
That's a good way to fist.
Yeah. Hey, Judd Nelson taught me everything about fisting. So, folks, what celebrity taught you the most about fisting?
Gosh.
Johnny Sins count.
Does he fist? I don't know the difference between him and Simon Miller from What Culture. Every time I see that meme of Stone Cold and they're like, that's Johnny Sins, I'm like, I thought that was the dude from What Culture.
Yep.
I don't know my porn stars anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. The weird thing I've heard about that is that because of all these girls doing OF, those male porn stars are now getting more work.
Oh, good for those guys.
Yeah, they're booked like 365 days out of the year, like all the time.
That's tiring work, but hey, good work if you can get it.
It's a good way to stay tired. Shit.
Yeah, and in shape.
Hey, somebody's gonna.
I think I stayed fit in California, Dion. I didn't just walk everywhere.
Somebody's got to lay all that pipe, all right? It's
I didn't have a contractor's license, but you could have called me a plumber, Nick.
This motherfucker.
I know, right? So, Georgian, I'd like to thank you for becoming a new member. I'd like to thank you for that very generous super chat. And, folks, thank you for all for joining us. Hit that thumbs up button, and we're going to check it with the audience, and then we're going to start tonight's show. But we always start our show sponsored by, unofficially, our friend Shrubbles08 with the word of the day. And the word of the day, guys, is Coke, as in Coca-Cola, of course. So we have Snow Coke in the 7 booger sugars. JFK does Coke. Dude, he does a lot of shit. Dude, where's my Coke? Dion Green in Green Shaft's Big Coke score.
Love it.
That sounds like a porno. That sounds like a porno.
It will be soon, Nick. We have the facilities to make said adult pictures.
Is Dion gonna?
In office.
That's true. That's true. All I need is a black leather couch now.
I can arrange that. There's a bunch of stores going out of business near me. We'll just go pick one up.
Yeah.
There you go. We need a black leather couch and questionable blinds.
Make sure we get a black light so when people come over to sit on the casting couch, we're like, this is a safe couch. We hit the black light and it's all pristine clean.
Yeah, we had a small Asian woman like really, really deep clean it. It's fine. It's fine.
Wax on, wax off, Nick. That's how it goes.
It takes you 3 hours, but everything's spotless.
Yeah, well, when it blows up everywhere, you got to get that. It just gets in all the crevices, the cracks. And it could get in there and smell after it gets too. Oh God, we got to take care of these people. We're world class after all, Nick.
Oh man, I love. We're not even 15 minutes in, and we're already
already there.
It's already there. Yeah,
I'm guilty. I had a beer, so I'm already there. Dion, you missed it last week. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling festive. I'm going to grab a beer before the show. And I did, and it was fucking fantastic. So,
yeah,
to have a repeat show.
Two Rangers, was it?
My man.
Oh, yeah, Voodoo Ranger. And guess
Voodoo
what?
Ranger,
I got two of them again. So, here we go.
There
We got Tropical IPA and Fruit Punch IPA.
Ooh, nice.
Now, let's give some Coke titles, like Coke Busters or Cokey and the Bandit.
Apocalypse Coke.
Not Coke Apocalypse Now?
Maybe. All right, let's see. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Coke. Or Coke of the Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I don't know.
Coke Hard with a Vengeance.
There you go.
Night of the Living Coke.
I coke on your grave.
From Coke Till Dawn.
I know who coked me last summer.
Who did it, Dion? Who coked you last summer, bro? Was it against your will? Did you consent? No, he didn't.
I'm calling HR.
He got coked. Robo Coke. So that's Dion's favorite movie.
Lock, Stock, and two Snorts.
Dude, where's my Coke?
I gotta be careful. My chair's off balance, and I will fall if you make me laugh too hard tonight. I am bouncing myself on my leg.
No problem. Rebel without his Coke.
Ooh, it's pissy.
Catch me if you.
Coke me if you can.
Coke me if you can.
I was gonna do Coke Trek: The Undiscovered Country.
Let's see. Coke clowns from outer space.
Coke Rider.
We should make that movie. Cocaine fueled clowns from outer space. That's Nick. We could be billionaires in 5 years if we just
write it down.
through
Write
and made
it.
all
Just
of our
write
shit.
it. Just write it down. Just write it down.
I'm adding it to the list. Hold on.
Because it'll be
notebook.
Yeah, because it'll be our little thing. I mean, it doesn't even have to be Well, yeah, it can be space based, but it'll be entirely different because those guys keep talking about it like a part 2, but it'll never happen. So
the Chiodo brothers.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it'll happen. Like when, buddy? When? Like
We should make this name. We should make this movie under an assumed name. We'll be the Chode brothers. People are like, what is this? It's cocaine clowns from outer space.
We're slowly going to start our porn empire at some point.
I said I want it to be, dude. Dion, you're going to be like Craig Robinson and Zach and Miri. You're not going to be starring in the films, but you're going to be a producer. Like, I love the movies because I do too, man.
He's just gonna be the suit. He's gonna be the suit on set. We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, he's the executive producer. He'll just come on and just be like this the whole time.
Yeah, you can't talk. You just say, That's a good insertion. Flipper, and that's it. You're just giving direction. I'm like, all right, let Dion direct the porno.
And he'll the merchandise, man.
He'll come to us and talk to us and just like really quietly, just act like he's saying something. Like, all right, we got it. All right, and then he'll leave. We'll just leave. Who's that guy? Don't worry about it. He's a money man. It's all good. It's all good.
Don't worry. He won't touch you.
He's the money man. Love it.
I'm going to start calling you Money Man Dion Green now. There we go.
I mean, it only makes sense. It only makes sense.
Oh, come on. That's a burn. He only makes sense. Was that a joke? Because it's mean. I'm sorry.
I'm glad
you got
that. We have a question for a very familiar face here on the channel. Dion, get your voice ready because we have a question for the one, the only Mr. Cleo. And that question is, Mr. Cleo, will Snow White and the Seven Simps make $350 million in U.S. theaters? Oh, he's muted.
Is he muted or did he?
Lie. The kids don't lie. The internet can try to cut me out all they want, but they have to remember the one thing they have to think about is that the kids don't lie. Now, obviously, the movie itself, the kids aren't exactly excited to see it, but yours truly, through the power of the kids, I've seen the movie. And sadly, as though it is, with all this silly bullshit coming from the think tank down at Disney Studios in Florida. As silly as the movie is, the kids don't lie, and even though the movie not fun, the movie not bombakla. I don't feel no boom in my crowd when I watch the movie, but sadly, for some reason, some people sees the movie and the kids don't lie, and I will say we'll just barely cross that mark because the kids, they don't lie. I'm in a mercy.
These have been the wise words of Mr. Cleo. I love Mr. Cleo. Thank you to Shrubbles08, I believe, who sent that one in. Yeah, folks, we're going to be talking a little bit about Snow White. A little bit, I mean, because the movie drops today, and everybody on this channel has no interest in it. You know, we have talked about the stuff in passing and laughing, if you will, but my issue, beyond all that dumb crap, which I just don't even pay attention to actors anymore, I don't want to watch a live-action remake of a movie. Like, I'm so not even angry. I'm just so disinterested in anything that's not original that I'm not going to go watch it. Like, dude, Nick, we saw the new movie. Go ahead.
Well, there's even a change.org petition for people for Disney to stop like making live-action remakes.
You know, there's also a change.org petition for transgender dinosaurs in the new Jurassic Park.
Yes, there is.
We're up to 28 supporters. Wait, on that petition. I'm going to drop that link right now.
Yeah, but I said we can always get more.
Folks, can we get to 30? Let's get to 40 tonight. We need 12 people to sign up for our fakechange.org petition. We will read it later on in the show. But, oh, wow. It recommends us to share to these groups. Jurassic Park, dinosaurs, LGBT, Central Florida Transgender Social Meetup Group, and transgender shitposting. I don't think we're going to copy it to anywhere. We're just trying to get 50 people to sign up for gender-inclusive dinosaurs. That's all. We don't want to change the world. Oh, God. By the way, folks...
That takes too long. That takes too much effort to try to change the world. I'm sorry.
I just want to make everybody laugh.
There you go.
Stupid shit. Shrubbles08, thank you for that one. And we will, like I said, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. We have a segment planned for the show, but I have a correction to make. Ubisoft is from France, not Canada, so I apologize. But I don't like their games either way. Also, our friend Enrique Vesca says, Dion, Back to the Future is almost 40. Can you understand how they speak? Nick, I'm going to get you that Lego set 21354.
Which one is that again?
It's the movie where the kid goes back in time and goes,
I can't understand what they're saying. I can't understand what they're saying.
Oh, go fuck yourself. I had to look up what 21354 was, and I was like, as soon as I put it in the computer, I was like, all right.
Speaking that devil's tongue. Ugh.
Smoking the devil's lettuce while you're speaking the devil's tongue.
I don't have my boy running off to shag up with some Caucasian curly-haired broad to save time. He's at home praying where he should be.
Amen, brother. Amen. Preach. Sorry, you got me there.
By the way, just so we're clear, the Lego set 21354 is the Twilight, the Cullen house.
Oh, dude. No. Don't buy it. I already got 3 of them here for you.
The sad thing is like it'll probably go up in price like once it leaves, once it gets retired or whatever. That's usually what happens with those things. Yeah,
that is. See, Nick, when we go to the episode of How to Save Money as a Collector on the Legos, I'm going to have you be on the episode with me, or at least be the consultant, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'll happily do that.
And speaking of Back to the Future, before we jump into tonight's main topics, Back to the Future, the musical, is coming to town, folks, in September. So I'll have some sort of short or content-related stuff to that in 6 months. Join me then.
If you're going, give me a ticket.
Okay.
I'll drive up.
It's coming to the Wharton Center here in East Lansing, too.
Oh, shit. I forgot how good the Wharton Center was.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when we were freshmen in college, they got Spam a lot, and they played that commercial like every 5 minutes. I was going nuts. Yep. It's like, we look on the bright side of life. I do. I like Spam a lot, but I can't handle that commercial 98 times in one episode.
Dude, I remember the Cats commercial as a kid. Cats.
Oh, yeah.
Thompson Bowling
Arena. Eyes would show up.
Come watch it. Yeah, it was weird.
They would show that commercial on Nickelodeon. And it would really be unsettling because I'm like, is this Zoobly Zoo? Can we go watch Zoobly Zoo? And no, it's Cats.
It was super unsettling as a kid too. I was like these people are just like giant fursuits. Who wants to watch this? Who the hell
Millions
wants
of
to
people,
watch this?
Nick. Millions.
Whatever.
Taylor Swift was in the film version of it.
Yeah. And afterwards she fired her publicist.
Well, the butthole cut can only get you so
I will
far.
Die on the Hill. Release the bunghole cut of Cats. I will die on this hill. That's that exists, and I want to see it. The world deserves to see the bunghole version.
Could you just not die for it? Like, we'll go into Nick. Let's pull a national treasure instead of the Declaration of Independence. You and I are going to hack into somewhere and steal the bunghole cut of Cats and the unreleased version of Batgirl for tax reasons that was deleted. And then we're going to go up to Michigan. We'll visit the Wharton Center, and then we'll go to Dion's, and we'll watch these movies and get some Big John steak and onion.
That sounds better. Well, so we won't be doing National Treasure. We'll be doing the guys the guys who were trying to go see Star Wars before it came out. That movie.
Oh yeah, Fanboys.
There you go, Fanboys.
I want an excuse to like lower you from a rope, like Mission Impossible, and you're just going down, and you're like your bead of sweat. You catch it in your palm of your hand. You're like, whew. That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Now, we had a request for our button number 61, Well, here's number 61 right here.
Did you see that guy accidentally hit that moose with his car?
No.
Holy shit. Jamie, pull that video up.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
Painful. Yep. And we have one more from Sejorjan. Thank you very much for everything, Sejorjan. Shakes the Clown from 1991 had an antagonist as an alcoholic, drug-abusing cocaine clown that frames the protagonist. Kendo's seen that a bunch. He swears by that movie.
He does.
Sejorjan, remind me, and I will have Kendo give you a quick review of Shakes the Clown in about 15 minutes when he gets here. But you requested this button. You say his name, and here it appears.
Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Been to London and Paris and Tokyo. Yes, P-Dubs, you came into a show all about cats. 24/7, 365, nothing but felines. Now we're done. Let's start talking about a new little segment we're going to talk about here on the channel when it comes up. Trailer talk. Now, I'm not going to go into every trailer that I've seen this week. Well, we have a little talk about Minecraft later on, but Happy Gilmore 2 has a trailer. And Happy Gilmore is nearly 30 years old. It's a 29-year-old movie, and Adam Sandler has had a fantastic, in terms of money, career for the last 30-plus years. He's been on TV shows, he's been in movies, he's been everywhere. Adam Sandler is a huge household name. And no matter how many crappy movies he's made over the past, 15, 20 years, everybody still goes back to two of his classics, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. And now we're getting more Happy Gilmore. So what did you guys think of this trailer? If you watched it.
I did watch it.
Am I the only one that saw it?
Listen, I had a very different reaction before seeing it as opposed to after seeing it. And I will admit, before I was like, oh gosh, Adam Sandler these days is at best a 50-50 shot. After seeing it, I surprisingly felt better. I won't say that it didn't convince me that I'm emotionally ready to see an Adam Sandler movie that's a remake of a classic, but it did make me feel a little. I will say that it made me feel a little bit better. I'm not convinced that it should have been made, but the trailer was way better than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a dumpster fire, I really was, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Same. That's my big takeaway. It wasn't that bad of a trailer. I'm not like super excited, like I'm gonna watch it today if I had the option, but I didn't hate what I saw. What about you, Nick? Did you watch the trailer?
I mean, I did, and it's one of those things where like Netflix is really good at trailers. They're really good at making trailers. They're awesome at it. But like you said, Dion, the dumpster fire happens when you watch the movie and you waste an hour and a half or 2 hours of your life, and you're like, I shouldn't have watched this. I should have just watched something I liked again. That's usually how Netflix happens. I mean, look at Electric State. The trailer looked decent for that. It looked fun. Nobody liked it.
Yep.
It flopped. I mean, you can't really flop on Netflix, but it got terrible reviews.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that they'll bring the metrics of that movie to their higher ups. That people are like, oh look, somebody watch hours, somebody watch minutes, and so much time in the first week, and like bring all those metrics to their higher ups and be like, oh look, people loved it, and we should make another one. That's how it works. We finally achieved where all these VOD platforms are just now making content, and they're just soulless. It's soulless cash grabs now. Nothing is a movie. Nothing feels good anymore. It all just feels like it's made, just made to fill in time, and it really sucks.
Dude, it's like The Wall. Remember the scene in The Wall when they all get put in the mold and they get turned into the meat thing at the end of the Wall Part 2, I guess, technically? That's kind of how a lot of these movies feel. Now, there are unique ones out there, but the big companies like Netflix and Disney, who likes to remake animated movies, or Warner Brothers, no, sorry, not Warner Brothers, Universal with another Jurassic Park, and now Disney with the Power Rangers. Like, Disney has got the rights to do Power Rangers. They're doing a new reboot that just got announced yesterday, which I don't really have any interest in. I'm an adult. I don't watch that show anymore, but I do. It just kind of roll my eyes. It's like, and it's Mighty Morphin. That's why I'm bringing this up. It's like we can't get away from anything. And so Happy Gilmore, it's like we're 30 years removed from Happy Gilmore. And while it's a fun movie, I I wouldn't have picked this one. If I was going to go back and see like a new like if I wanted to pick up where an Adam Sandler character was left off, I'd want to see like what Billy Madison is up to. I'd want to see what Robbie Hart, like The Wedding Singer, but moved up 10 years through the 90s would be an awesome movie for me, because it's like you do all the same shit you did in The Wedding Singer 1, where you do all these great nostalgic callbacks and you have a pretty good story, and don't have Adam Sandler break up with Drew Barrymore, and then you just, make it, get all the guys back, new 90s references. It's less hollow than, like, I don't know, Grown Ups 2 or half of the other shit he's made. So
Yeah, Grown Ups 1 was great.
Yeah, I think I'm a little over with Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movies. I mean, Wedding Singer is a good one because it was so good. If anything, it would have been Billy Madison. I want to see Billy Madison, as a teacher. That would have been interesting, because that story was complete. It was fun, but it there was a lot going forward with that character that could be funny to see later on, more so than Happy Gilmore. Because outside, I mean, don't get me wrong, apparently Shooter's coming back and all that, so that's something to quell the anxiety that going into an Adam Sandler movie brings you. But if I would have chose one, it would have been Billy Madison.
Folks, welcome Coach Kendo Slice to the show. Kendo, you came in at the perfect time. We're talking about the Happy Gilmore trailer. I wanted to know if Happy Gilmore is not a character that you wanted to see Adam Sandler pick back up. What is a character that you wouldn't mind seeing Adam Sandler pick back up?
I would have to say the best character that he could pick back up would be Billy Madison, because of how the movie ends, where he says he's going back to school. He's going to be a teacher, because if they hold the timeline correctly, that would have been like 1995-ish. Mm-hmm. So he went back to school. He would have graduated. He'd become a teacher right around the year 2000 or so. So he'd be in his 25th year. He'd be a grizzled old wily veteran at this point, staring down the barrel of retirement in a few years. And it'd be interesting to see how he, a child of product of the 80s technically, and then by the extension the 90s, is handling the world as it is now in terms of the classroom. Like maybe something to do with like how he's handling being a teacher that's moved into his mid 50s or whatever he would be at that point. So I think that'd be kind of fun. That'd be a good way to do it. I can't really think of any others you could do. Wedding Singer, it would be like, what is nearly 70-year-old Robbie Hart doing at this point? I don't really see how you could pick that one back up.
I thought he would be that old. Shit. He
would be, because it's 1985 and he was mid-20s supposedly in 1985. So he would be staring down the barrel of that. Waterboy could be a good one to see what Bobby Boucher's life is like. Does he get drafted into the NFL? Does Mama still disapprove of the foosball? Does he still love Vicky Valancourt? There's so many things you could do with that one too. Maybe, he's learning how to take over coaching from, Coach Klein. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with that. I saw that there was going to be a Happy Gilmore 2, and my thought was, what would they do with Happy Gilmore Part 2? Because the whole shtick is that he can just unorthodoxly run up and smack the shit out of a ball, and then he eventually learns the short game too. Like, what is he now going on the senior PGA Tour? He's not a new thing anymore. Everybody knows who Happy Gilmore would be through his golf career at this point. So I think you get more mileage out of the others if you want to pick it up and take it somewhere.
I hope.
What about Little Nicky? Could we get a sequel to that?
I'd watch that more than I'd watch like a sequel to some of these.
You could probably get a Little Nicky, or maybe Big Daddy. It could be Big Granddaddy at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That kid would be, he's our age roughly. So
yeah, that movie came out in 1999 and he was 5, so he would be 31.
They were Zach and Cody too, so I guess you could do a joke that there's 2 of them. Like, I don't know. Big Daddy works because it's Adam Sandler with a kid. I don't know if I'd want to see him as like an old man, because he refuses to be an old man in his movies. He's,
So here's how that works. You talked about the kid being played because it's a little kid. And they always usually use twins for that because, childhood acting stamina isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Or labor laws.
Yeah, those two. So what you could do is you could call it Big Granddaddy. Right. And what it would be him as an older guy. Yeah, he's got a son now, but he also finds out that he his son that he adopted, turns out he's got a second, a twin brother that nobody knew about because mom kept that a secret for whatever reason. And so it's about him, going through the trial and tribulations of having this new kid come into his life at the age that's already 30 years old, as well as maybe the other kid that not only can he wipe his own ass now, but he also has his own kids that he's trying to introduce Scuba Steve and all that shit too. So you could do a lot with that.
Hey,
So
if they
it'd
do
be-
Big Daddy 2, they have to do a whole like Scuba Steve reboot, and I want like a 3-minute segment in the movie to be a commentary on all these like remakes. Like, God damn, another Scuba Steve? What happened to the original Scuba Steve? And like all this shit, like that would be funny to me because Scuba Steve is the best part of that movie.
Yeah, that and the jokes would write themselves. Like he gets his new son to be, that he found out that there's a twin to or whatever, and he goes to, take the kid to Hooters to bond with him, and it's new Hooters where the waitresses
Oh
aren't
my
all
God,
that
yes.
they used to be back in the old days, and some of them may actually even be dudes. So that would be funny to see how
we
he
still have
handled that.
Can we have the old man still be alive? What was
Yes.
his name? Not Virgil. What was it like? Hank? I don't remember his name. No, Sid. His name was Sid because Sid's on the 5-year plan. I want to see that shit. I don't even think Sid has 5 years left.
I don't know if he had 5 years left back in 1999.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think he may have not made it to 9/11. So who knows?
Well, that joke is one I'm just gonna let fly on by.
I'm just glad you didn't let it crash and burn, Kendo. Thank you. Kendo, by the way, we had a super chat come in a second ago before we talk about the main topics from our friend Georgian, who mentioned Shakes the Clown as a cocaine-fueled clown. What do you think of that movie? You're the only person I know that has ever talked about it.
I'm the only person you probably ever know that's actually watched it on Blu-ray and owns it on Blu-ray.
It keeps getting better.
I enjoy Shakes the Clown. That is one of those movies that as a kid, I remember seeing it at the video store going, what is this? And then asking to rent it because I thought it was a funny movie because it had a clown on the front of it, only to be told, no, that's not a movie for you. And then I forgot all about it until one day, like 10 years ago, I was sitting around going, what was that movie? And blah, 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 blah. And so I just looked up clown movie from the 1980s or whatever it was, and I got nowhere. But then I was looking up Bobcat Goldthwait one day, and I saw that he was in a movie called Shakes the Clown. I'm like, that's the movie. And I wanted to watch it, so it was either go on Amazon and rent it for $5 or buy the Blu-ray for $7. So I bought the Blu-ray for $7, and I enjoy it. It's exactly what you would want from a cocaine-fueled, alcoholic clown in his prime. It's kind of like what Stitches would be if Stitches was attempting to be a serious movie instead of a horror movie.
But Stitches is great, though. That's a great movie.
Stitches is great. I mean, if we're talking about the pantheon of clown movies, it goes Stitches and then Shakes.
I think Killer Clowns is number one.
Oh, okay. So it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, then Stitches, then Shakes the Clown.
I love that. I'm looking at the the actors you have: Bobcat Goldthwait, Robin Williams, and Adam Sandler, like the top three right there.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Read the name of the character that Adam Sandler plays to Kendo.
Dink the Clown.
Who's Dink the Clown, Kendo?
Doink's little person friend that he wrestled with, because there could only be one Doink at a time because of WrestleMania 9. So Doink unveiled his secret weapon, Dink.
Dink. It's such a dumb gimmick. I got to see this movie. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna watch it.
I might just buy it. I might just say screw
Just
it.
buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
one day you're going to go to a convention and you're going to find that Bobcat Goldthwait happens to be there. And you're like, hey, I can have him sign my Shakes the Clown Blu-ray. And I think he'll be tickled fucking pink that you own it.
I do like Bobcat
More than
Goldthwait.
likely.
And then you'll strike up a conversation. You guys will be talking. And before you know it, his people contact your people. And Bobcat Goldthwait is on the podcast getting interviewed.
There you go. That's how it works.
Oh man, I hope he does.
See, it's all on
voice.
your shoulders now, Nick. I hope you can handle the burden.
Don't fuck it up, Nick. Don't fuck
That's
it up.
right. You have one
Our-
job.
Our friend Troubles08 sends in another message that says, "I'll take this button, please."
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Me, your old pal Buffalo Jeff.
They killed him, folks.
You scared Dion so bad he flew out of his chair.
I know, right? He's like an old witch.
I'm
Now-
fall for this shit again.
I'm going to go grab my phone because we're going to do fake headlines this week, guys. Last week it was crazy, and let's see if we can do better this time. But give me about 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. The topic is something.
So let's see. My mother was in town this week, and she's currently at the airport right now. That's why I was a little late getting to the show, folks. And that's why I wasn't on last week, because Doof was in town too. We went and saw the NASCAR races, all three. We got to watch Frankie Muniz. Now, here is something I never thought I would ever say, and I even recorded some videos.
His brain working all right to be driving?
I would think so. He didn't do so good, though, because he races for a team that doesn't have the access to the best equipment out there. So he was 29th out of 31st for most of the race, but he finished 24th by virtue of like 5 or 6 trucks wrecking and being out of the race. So through a battle of attrition, he was able to move up 5 spots from where he started. But if you would have went back in time and you would have found me in like 2002 and said, in 23 years, you are going to be living in Las Vegas and watching Frankie Muniz drive a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series truck, I'd be like, you are out of your mind. But here we are.
I would have said yes, no, maybe.
It's a real thing. I watched Malcolm be Malcolm in the back, and then he eventually became Malcolm in kind of the middle towards the end of the race.
Malcolm in back of the bus.
Yeah, well, he was in the
is this like a civil rights story with Frankie Muniz? I'll watch that.
Yes.
Frankie Muniz is Rosa Parks. What a terrible casting.
Muniz is Rosa Parks. No, it's a Netflix one. It's a Netflix one.
Dude, that would be
Netflix production. Cute gringo.
That would be the greatest ever opening thing to a movie ever. It's this and this and this, and then at the end it's with Frankie Muniz as Rosa Parks. He kind of turns around and looks. But we could have Morgan Freeman, who was the Grand Marshal of the Cup race on Sunday. I got to be from here to the house across the street away from Morgan Freeman. That was kind of cool.
Closer than any of us have ever been.
Yeah, that's true.
That one I actually kind of got a little marked out for, because Chelsea Green was the green flag
wrestler?
waiver. The wrestler was the green flag waiver at the beginning of the race, which I thought was, I don't know what the connection is there. Maybe she's from Vegas, but then they're like, and please welcome Grand Marshal, Academy Award winner, Morgan Freeman. I'm like, holy shit, that is actually Morgan Freeman. So I was like, I got slightly starstruck there for about 10 seconds. I'm like, holy shit.
I don't blame you, because there are certain stars. It's like, hey, it's a wrestler. Hey, it's the dude from the local news. Hey, it's somebody I watch on the internet. Hey, it's a wrestler. Hey, it's a guy from TV. Holy shit, there goes Morgan Freeman. It is. That's you can't say holy shit, there goes so many people.
Why is Morgan Freeman Superman?
I don't lie.
That's a perfect act.
You did a whole Superman thing for Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Well,
am I wrong?
You're not wrong. He is not wrong, because the thing is, his start engine commands was so subtle. It was Morgan Freeman. If Trey Parker is playing Morgan Freeman on South Park, that's what it came off as, because he was just gentlemen, start your engines. It was just real succinct to the point and real essentially Morgan Freeman narrating a NASCAR race type thing. And everyone got excited, but then there were a few people that were kind of pissed because he didn't just boisterously get into it like a lot of the people do. Number one, he's 87 or something years old. He's an old guy. And number two, they got shut down really fast because at the end of the day, he's fucking Morgan Freeman. He has earned the right to say whatever he wants to. He could have just been like, fellow rednecks, start your engine. Nobody would have cared. Everyone would be like, that's fucking Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, if he ever needs money, he should do a thing real easy. He can make $20,000 a day called Morgan Freeman Narrates Your Life. And for $20,000, he will narrate your whole workday for you. He can make $1 billion fucking dollars. That would be it'd be easy money. If Morgan Freeman ever went to Cameo or one of these things where you can record a voicemail for you and he's $1,000, how many people would say, this is the voice of God, you've reached so-and-so? You make so much money.
100% people would do that. Yeah.
Without even hesitating.
Yeah.
Dude,
he's one of those people that has transcended celebrity status to a point where he's just like everybody's like, yeah, it's Morgan Freeman. He could get away with anything. He could drive down the street and just start throwing hand grenades, and people are like, that's fucking Morgan Freeman. He's
Morgan Freeman's crazy. That's exactly what I would say. I wouldn't even be mad.
Be like, no, you can't be mad at it. Be like, dude, that fucking went right underneath one of those little school buses. But you know what's Morgan Freeman, dude? He's just, that's just how it is.
He had a reason. He had a reason. We're just excusing that. He's had a reason.
Yeah,
He gets a pass.
It's Morgan Freeman.
I love
dude.
it. I love it.
The bus shouldn't have been sitting there.
Our friend Uncle Lester Cam says, I enjoy your videos. Please use this for 2 Sherry-copters. Well, Uncle Lester Cam, thank you very much. Folks, check out our newest toy video. I'm back in production mode. Having gone away to the con and taking care of fulfillment for Wokebusters and other stuff has been a lot of the time, but I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you guys know that for as much as I love doing that, I love doing this just as much. And I want you guys to check out this week's video because there may or may not have jacked up the prices on some of these Ollie's toys. And, well, you may or may not want to watch our con video because now the people at the convention are buying up Ollie's toys and trying to sell them, but they put them on a special table, so they're not good enough for the regular toy sections. So just watch the videos. You'll get the whole gist of it.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me that your plethora of Ollie's toys are now starting to make those toys go up in price? Is that what's happening?
Okay, no. What happened is Ollie's. Okay, so we all know how inventory and retail works.
Demand works.
But they're restocking, like they're redoing all the inventory for Ollie's, and for some reason, some of the figures are $1 more expensive. Not everything, but like a figure that used to be $1.99 is now $2.99. And I'm like, why did this go up in price? Nobody fought in Shang-Chi. So that was just, an observation I made. But folks, I have some other toy news coming up for you. I have it on some good authority that a major retailer is getting rid of a major toy line, a big toy line. I won't tell you exactly what toy line, but I'll show you a hint. It's this toy line right here. It's leaving one of the biggest retailers on the planet.
What is that toy line? I have no idea what the toy line is, Jeff. You have to.
This is a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and this is a Mike TV action figure. So
I can tell.
He's got the TV on his waist.
I see.
I can't believe Mattel is dumping that toy line. That is just. I can't believe it. I knew times were hard over at Mattel, but I didn't think they were that bad.
I have a guy who's a listener who runs a local toy store. He's been giving me stuff. Like, he doesn't want to be featured. He wants to just like be a friend, and he gives me free stuff. So
that's great.
I'm gonna have something that I swore I'd never buy in a couple of days. It's that. Remember how I made a video about the $50 Spider-Man figure?
Yeah.
That's going up in price. Well, this guy watches the channel. He's like, I got a case, because he owns a store. He's like, I got a case of these. I got one for you. So
he has a case of them. A case of them.
Well, he's going to sell them in his store, but he's got one, he's going to give me one. He wants me to talk about it. So in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, folks, when it comes in, you're going to laugh at this action figure with me. But we will talk about all the wonderful toy stuff in video form. Make sure you're following all of our shorts. Hit that thumbs up button right now, and make sure you're subscribed. If you randomly find this stream and you're like, what are these 4 guys talking about? What is this show about? Well, here's a quick 30 seconds.
Nothing.
We are world-class bullshitters. Our show is about nothing. Yes, correct. We don't talk about anything important. Actually, the truth is, we're 4 dudes. We take a dump on the world of pop culture each and every week, and we also break it down in an intellectual way. We have teachers, doctors, all kinds of people on this channel. So be on the lookout for some more stuff. But Uncle Lester, thank you for all your kind words. I'm reading the chat right now, and you know what? I love doing it, but it's really nice to hear what people have to say about it. So I appreciate that. Now, guys, I appreciate a good laugh, and so we have a segment that's going to make you guys laugh. We have articles. Which of these is fake? So you guys ready?
Hell yeah.
B.
Yes. Okay. So. Here's the first one. Indiana teacher accused of gangbang with students asked them to wear screen masks. Sydney Sweeney turning an English teacher's Reddit story into a movie. Or Tesla owners paint rainbow colors on car doors in hopes violent mobs will pass by. Now remember, last week they were all true.
The first one is so ridiculous that it has to be true.
Yeah.
The second one actually sounds extremely plausible. The third one also sounds slightly plausible too, just because it's kind of like putting something up there to be like, hey, we're just going to try to blend in. If there's a rainbow sticker on my Tesla, they'll leave it alone. But that one also sounds like something that comes straight from maybe the Babylon Bee. So I'm going to go with that one not being true.
Dion?
I'm gonna. Ooh, Tesla seems just dumb enough in real life to try that. I'm going with the Sweeney story is not true.
Well, Nick stepped away, so I guess we're gonna let's see. The chat says
He picked
Sweeney's fake.
the first one. That way we all got something different.
Exactly.
Well,
we all got some skin in the game.
Well, the fake story was the Tesla story because the Indiana teacher, I cut out certain words because when you think of like teachers and students, you think of something. This lady went like in your area of teaching, Kendo. And that's messed up, but that's a real story. Yeah, that's fucking up. Yeah. And then also too, the Sydney Sweeney stories, real. I could have given you this story. Pokemon Go has been sold to a Middle Eastern company, and they now have all your data. That's a true story, too.
Just scary enough to be real.
Yeah. Fear-mongering, the world-class style.
Indiana story is just, that makes it even worse because those are what they call in the criminal justice system, Dion was well aware, enhancements.
Well, this lady is going to go to jail for a while, and it couldn't happen to a nicer person. But, folks, if you enjoy these fake headlines and you want to, get involved, send us a headline. I mean, I'm going to know the truth because I host the show, so I have to do my due diligence. But if you want to help test the other three bullshitters, which story is real, you know what to do. Send us an email to info@worldclassbullshitters.com. The best .com ever, right? Because we're no longer mail.com. Yeah, don't send us emails to the mail.com. We don't read it. Like if you've been sending us like your like life story, like we care. We want to know. We still want to hang out and talk about your ideas and movies and shit. But if you're sending it to the mail.com, we don't see it. So remember, folks, it's info@worldclassbullshitters.com. We've leveled up. We're a real.com now.
I feel like I changed that a while ago.
Oh, you did, but
Okay.
I just want to make sure everybody knows because we have people. I didn't realize the breadth of people we have because it's like I'll put something on the channel and most people will know, but then somebody else won't know. And I go, you know what? It's just hard to keep up with everything. So we'll keep it nice and centralized here on the podcast. Folks, this is your time to hang out with the people who run this channel, to be a part of this channel, and to get all your updates and information on the channel. And I'm done saying that word. So let's read this message from Enrique before we give you today's first topic. Enrique says, I'm anxiously awaiting Wokebusters and I hardly get anxious. Jeff, don't forget about us who ordered from Indiegogo. No, of course not. I'm sitting here literally. Hold on, where's the fucking box?
The man goes to the post office twice a week.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the thing? Like, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not sounding mean, but like, if I don't deliver, that kills my reputation, and I can never do another comic book again. So, like, why would I ever do something so stupid? Here I am every fucking day. I'm sitting and signing every book for every person because you guys had to wait. That's my thank you for being patient. Everybody gets an autographed copy. But they're all here, and I'm sitting here signing these motherfuckers each and every day. I gotta be careful. This goes out to a listener. I have my own promo copies. I keep my promo copies over here because I sit and look at this book quite a bit. I'm very proud of this back painting of all of us. We look we look better than we do in real life in certain regards, except Kendo. That hair is goofy as hell, and I love it. But I am really glad that everyone is anxious for this book because I've been getting fucking fan mail about it. Like that makes me feel cool. I got a message the other day. This guy says, I just finished reading it and I loved it. Lots of comedy gems in there, pulling their heads out of their asses, chocolate thunder, all that stuff. So Dion, people like the jokes about you too, man. Like the chocolate thunder, I don't call you that until the end of the book, but man, you bring the pain. So
let's go. I'm ready.
Yes. So folks, I have mailed out everything from the Kickstarter and except the remarks because I have to draw in your books and I don't want to rush those. Other than that, those have been sent out and the other stuff starts going out this Tuesday. So there we are. Thank you. I'm excited. And once if anybody out there is like, man, I really want to read Wokebusters, where can I get it? As soon as everybody's books have been fulfilled, they will go on the website, the remainder. But the way things are going, it might sell out, which is kind of cool. So get it now before it goes away. Because unless there's a crazy demand, I'm not going back to print for Wokebusters. I'm going to Stealing Solo too. And then if people are still wanting Wokebusters and it goes up on the aftermarket, Well, maybe then we'll do another printing. But remember, folks, when you buy from me, you're not just getting a little bitty comic book. This book isn't a 25-page book that took me years to complete. This is a 100-page epic graphic novel, full one big story. We don't put filler in our books. We do have bonus content, though, in the back. So if you would like to read a deleted scene or see the cover gallery or all the promotional images that I created for this book, because remember, my books aren't just books. They're like movies, essentially. We do everything. Posters, ad campaigns, commercials, radio spots, you name it, we do it. It's the world-class style. So thank you, folks, to everybody who backed Wokebusters. I'm one guy, but I'm getting them all to you. So be on the lookout. And people have been tagging me in social media. I even got some fan art the other day. That was pretty cool. So
that's awesome.
Thank you, Enrique. Yeah, so I guess somebody bought it for their kid, and they sent me a picture of some kid drew the logo, like in crayon. I was like, cool. I'm gonna share it to social media. And I gotta get it up there. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. So you know what? I'm excited. We're gonna talk about something else, though, folks. Let's transition into our first topic of the evening. Let's just make this one quick because we got to get in and get out. Like now, Dion, I apologize in advance because you are a good dude, a good dad, a good father, a good hardworking individual, and you do all the right shit. But sometimes you just have to suffer, and I apologize preemptively for all the suffering you're about to do, because in just a few short days or maybe weeks, I'm not paying attention to the release date, you're gonna have to suffer through what is looking like one of the absolute biggest pieces of shit ever to be made into a movie. What is that movie? We've lived through the Super Mario Brothers movies from the 90s. We lived through Double Dragon, but nothing is looking as bad as Minecraft. And holy shit, do I not see anything that makes this movie look interesting. What do you guys like? The trailers are every day. I've seen the commercials everywhere. I think this movie's going to flop hard because I get it that kids like this shit, and I know that Minecraft's been around for a minute, but holy crap, you dropped the ball very hard on this one. What say you guys? Let's start with Dion, since he's the only one that's going to have to go see that movie.
Well, it's perfect that you brought it up. I just saw the trailer again because we went and saw Snow White. And it's there, obviously, with it, the type of movies that these are. And I am excited to see what my boys go through in terms of the commercialization of the film industry. Because, you know, the good thing, one, it's good that they're kids. Two, you know, it based on the trailer looks so by the numbers, which again, I won't say is a guarantee that it's not going to be good, but like you got Jack Black using, you know, the most generic Jack Black voice, you know, at least in what we know in terms of dialogue in the trailer, it is like bare bones. Man, I am gonna be in for a real damn treat.
I almost want to get really wasted and go watch this movie the same night you do, so we can do a really fucked up review of it.
Deanna's gonna need several drinks to get through this movie.
Not just drinks, bro. California shots.
There you go. That too. He's gonna have to crossfade just to to keep up with this movie.
To survive.
Kenda, what are the youths saying to you about this, or have they said anything?
They haven't said anything to me because the youths know that I am 100% not a Minecraft person because they've asked me. They're like, Mr. H, do you play Minecraft? And I'm like, no, that's a kid's game. That thing came out when I was an adult. Why would I play Minecraft? And they've also asked me about Fortnite. And I was like, no, again, Fortnite is a game that is like geared towards children. Why would I be playing that? I was like, I play video games to relax and enjoy myself, not play online with children. So my question about this movie is, one, why? And two, why is Jack Black in it? Because he's a dude in his 50s, and this Minecraft is geared towards kids. So shouldn't it be a kid in the Minecraft world doing stuff? Because
money.
What you do, based on what I've heard and have witnessed kids doing on their computers that they shouldn't be doing, and they immediately switch tabs. Like the teacher goes to walk by and their hands immediately start clicking on things. It's like, yeah, I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. I know you're switching tabs or whatever it is. And Doof was big on Minecraft for a while, so I'd catch him playing it at the house every now and then and just be, casually looking at it while I was doing something else. you're like a kid running around in Minecraft world or whatever it is, punching trees and doing shit. So I'm not sure why it's Jack Black that has to be doing this, considering it just doesn't make any sense to me that you would have an adult character in his 50s running around, because to me, Jack Black peaked in Tropic Thunder. And before that, he peaked with, Pick a Destiny, not even Pick a Destiny, but their whole tribute to Stairway to Heaven in like 2002. Those are like the only two things I've ever seen or have associated myself with Jack Black in any way, and a positive thought towards Jack Black. I don't dislike him as much as I dislike Will Ferrell, but it's up there.
Well, I think the reason they have Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and Jennifer Coolidge is to get the adults to watch it.
Clearly,
they want the family to watch it because they know the kids are going to go watch Minecraft. They want to keep the adults entertained, so they have these other older actors so that the parents are like, oh, it's not going to be a total shit show. I won't have to take 4 California shots and 4 actual shots to get through this.
So Jennifer Coolidge is there to get the adult male audience, from 35 on up. Jack Black is there for reasons I'm not entirely sure of. And Jason Momoa is there to get the mother audience ages, 18 on up to go into the movie theater to be happy.
Dude.
So that's pretty much what it is.
Jack Black is the king of the video game movie. He's got Bowser, Jumanji, Borderlands, and now Minecraft. He's
holy shit, you're right.
He's the video game movie guy. And that's where we are. And I don't know if I don't think it's like a lateral transition. Like he's able to do that because he's the voice of a famous character in Bowser. He's the voice of a OK robot in Claptrap. And now he's going to be... Robot. What'd you say?
I was just talking. The original Claptrap, Jack Black was horrible, but you're carry on.
Oh, I'm not saying, dude, everything about the Borderlands movie is garbage. And then he did Jumanji, which is his own character, but now he's playing Minecraft Steve, who has no personality and is also a block. So there's like no human that could play that role.
Perfect for him.
Yeah, he clearly is a block, but I foresee these toys clogging up Ollie's shelves next year. Like seriously, you're going to be watching one of our videos. So here we are at Ollie's, and what do we see? The Shuricopter, Captain Marvel, and the Minecraft toys are right next to Skibbity Toilet. Like, you're making plastic toys for a generation who don't like plastic toys. You're making a movie for a generation of people who, you know what you should do? This should have been a direct-to-streaming thing, kind of like Twisted Metal or any of these other shows, because this is horrible. And I'm so sorry, Dion, that you have to go and sit through this.
That's a perfect note to hit with it, because Minecraft feels like it is the epitome of the era of, that thing's super popular. Now studios are just throwing money at it to make it look kind of like it, but also be a movie from Tinseltown that people can recognize. And it just oh my God, like the lighting in the movie looks horrible. And listen, and this is coming from the generation where, comic book movies, people thought that, comic book movies were going to be done. Right. So I'm giving it all of my open,
mindedness.
I guess. Yes. And it just looks like AI wrote this movie, and it's just the most corporate thing. But if the little nincompoops love it, I'm not. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, can kids convince their parents enough to go and see this movie? They're making my black ass go. So yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even think it's something that they're gonna really like. But the way that, especially when you look at things like how kids watch YouTube and all that, they're very much, it's not hard to entertain them. So I don't know, man. If it's based on quality, they might have a very long evening here in a couple weeks. But then again, man, if it gets these little fools, if they love it, we'll see if this Microsoft and video game era of movies keeps going, because Damn, man. I don't know. I do not know. Because he's just talking like Jack Black the entire time.
Well, he doesn't really play characters anymore. Like Jack Black, he's like Will Ferrell. He's just become the character. And so I, last year, gave very high ratings to a film called Dear Santa, where a kid with dyslexia, sounds like I have it, dyslexia, wrote a letter to Santa Claus. Well, he thought he wrote a letter to Santa Claus. He actually wrote it to Satan. And Jack Black plays this demon. And it was a really good movie, one of my favorites of the year. So I don't dislike Jack Black in the slightest bit. I don't like video game movies for the most part, because I love when you take something from one medium, like a book or a comic book or even a TV show, and you adapt it into a film. That's awesome. But a video game is harder to track down because I write books, I drew stuff. You guys, you are in control of your own video games. When nobody plays it the same way, it's kind of why you can't really copyright video game footage the way other people can copyright other footage, because it's like, nobody plays GoldenEye the exact same way that I do. You know, you're not playing the facility to shoot the guy, then hide the bomb, then call him up, and blow him up. Like, nobody plays it the same way. So a gaming experience is never the same for anybody. And when you try to take a gaming experience that's unique to the user, and you try to make a generic coverall version, you know, that just kills what the game is. Because gaming is very, that's why I think it works so well. It's a very personal thing, though it's a community thing as well. But everybody, you know, Dion, you brought up playing Call of Duty. How different are your loadouts than other people's loadouts? Does your soldier, I don't want to put myself up there like that, but does your soldier look the same as everybody else? Probably not. But when you watch the Minecraft movie, you know, everybody thinks Steve is one way, but now it's just Jack Black in a sweater. And some people might like that. I want to buy this toy, ironically. But I'm going to guess, let's just guess the box office. I say this movie makes overall worldwide $360 million.
I don't think it cracks 250.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think it does. It hovers around 800 million. I think it does. Make enough.
I was gonna go with 400 million worldwide, and that's just being generous.
Yeah. By the way, Jack Black's two greatest moments in cinema history are The Jackal and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
When he gets his arm shot off and he has the shitty Jamaican accent?
Yes.
I think my favorite Jack Black movie, and folks in the chat, I want to hear yours. I think my favorite Jack Black movie performance might be in Saving Silverman, where he and Steve Zahn kidnap Arlie Ermy. Or no, they kidnap Amanda Peet, and Arlie Ermy gives them all this advice, and they end up getting married to each other at the end.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome. They'll make him like that anymore.
He is a really good actor. I do love his stuff when he does, you know, good things. But yeah, I guess he's just wanting that paycheck. I mean, which is fine, but man, like Minecraft, come on.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm confused. Nick said Jack Black is good when he does good things. What are these good things you're speaking of in terms of Jack Black?
Tropic Thunder.
That's one. So that's a thing, singular.
Hold on, let me look up Jack Black movies, because I'm going to say he's been in more decent ones than bad ones.
Yeah, Saving Silverman is good. He did the voice of Brutal Legend. That was awesome.
School of Rock is a good movie. Kung Fu Panda, the Jumanji films.
Tenacious D.
Goosebumps was good.
Goosebumps was really good.
Wait, Jack Black is in Waterworld?
Yeah, I'm looking that up too, and like I'm confused why that showed up.
That one doesn't count because that's not a good movie.
Orange County is a good movie. The Cable Guy is a good movie.
Yeah, Cable Guy's entertaining.
I liked it. It's the one time I thought Tom Hanks' son was pretty funny. Yeah, he's just been in a bunch of shit. Like, I don't think Jack Black is going to win an Oscar, and I don't have anything against him personally. God, this is terrible.
He's better than Will Ferrell. I'll give you that.
Okay, all right, we'll take that.
They're not even in the same category, sir.
They are in my world.
That's fair. That's all that matters. So, folks, let us know if you watch Minecraft, if you suffer through it. Tell Dion so he can have a support group. We're going to offer
we need
the Minecraft Borderlands support group.
Yeah.
We all need it.
The parents who are forced to go watch Minecraft.
Parents of children who like terrible things. That's the official title of our group.
There you go.
Well,
oh boy, I'm definitely gonna be inebriated and needing a ride home after that movie. That's for damn sure.
I'll come pick you up. Don't worry.
My man.
That's the type of thing when I get some more free time. That's like, I would love to just come up and see a movie with you on a whim.
Hell yeah.
Stay for a night and then just be like, I'm going to go home on Monday. And, we just do that to go watch movies. That's definitely worth a while.
Fuck yeah.
All right, folks. Now you know it's going to happen. Dion and I are going to hang out to go watch movies.
We're doing it.
I love how somebody remembers Jack Black from Airborne.
I remember Jack Black from the Atari commercial.
Oh,
jeez, yeah.
Airborne from '93, and the movie barely got a DVD release.
He was an enemy of the state. He was great in that one. Yep.
Nick, what do you think about, speaking of DVDs, what do you think of all the fucking Warner Brothers DVDs that have so much rot all of a sudden? Like, have you seen all the posts popping up? Like, everybody's Warner Brothers discs are dead.
Yeah. I would say if yours are not dead, I would go ahead and rip them off and like put them somewhere else, or put them on a hard drive, or put them on another disc or something. Like, that's what I would do, honestly.
Do you think there are some people championing this for streaming purposes? Like, do you think there could be some low-level people that work for these companies? Like, we need to push this story out there.
Oh,
so more people jump to streaming.
No, of course, 100%. Because I mean, you're talking about on a subscription service, hundreds of dollars a year per person per subscriber, as opposed to buying a DVD or Blu-ray once. Yeah, of course they want the money. It's all about that. That's all this whole VOD thing has been a push for. It's been a push for convenience and, you can watch a movie on your phone while you're on the bus, while you're, getting your teeth cleaned or whatever bullshit it is. Like, and now it's just become this thing. Like, if you want to watch the movie you want to watch, you're gonna have to, go through all these other VOD services and find it. And then if you have to rent it, it's going to cost you $6 to rent it for one thing, the movie that you've, watched since you were a kid. It's such an inconvenience now to watch these things. It's terrible. You have to sign up to, 18 of them to get what you want these days. It's a scam, man. It's terrible.
I want to cut. You know how everyone was a cord cutter all those years ago? I'm dying to cut some of these streaming services. I'm not angry like at some of these, but I pay for Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Peacock, and Disney. So I pay for 5 streaming services. Now, I'm a business, so I can take them off as a tax write-off. Anybody that's like, why are you supporting the beast? Because it's fucking free. Yeah. But in reality, like, I don't like these things anymore. Like, every day when I get up to ride the bike, I watch a 90s action movie on disc. It's just like, I own the movies I like. And I understand that there is a benefit to having a wide berth of availability. But like, Dion, you got these books that are full of DVDs. Like, how much nicer is it to just go into your own collection and know that everything in this collection is something that you like? Like, I'm going to pick this random disc. I bought it for a reason. Like, I miss that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, listen, and to specifically, the direction that you two are going in, it was a couple of years ago. I think it was literally right before WrestleMania. There was a train accident or whatever, and it derailed, and it knocked down the cables that Xfinity uses to get to Lansing. So pretty much everyone within the city limits of East Lansing and half of the Lansing area, we just didn't have anything from Xfinity. So, my Wi-Fi was down because I have Xfinity. I have I use their general Wi-Fi signal sometimes. Both of those were down, and I have a shitty cell signal here. So I had to go back to the thing you were just talking about, our movie collection, and it was so nice. All the stuff happened. And to Nick's point, my black ass gotta catch up on the physical stuff that I have. I still gotta get the 2 more John Wicks. I gotta finish all my Marvel stuff, and then I gotta get some remasters that came out. But it is so nice to just plug that bitch in, and especially now if you do have a hard drive, depending on how new it is, you can just plug it into your TV and run it off of that. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm with you. Like, don't get me wrong, if there were, you can get a vast majority of what you want to watch from 2 to maybe 3 streaming services, I'd be all about it. But we're in the same boat. We have 4 or 5, and I got some homies out there, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that let a brother use their shit. So I'm with you, man. It's crazy how the pendulum has swung the other direction where I want to cut streaming services too. Half of our streaming services, well, a chunk of them are for sports too. So it's not just movie and film that are going through that. It's the sports realm. And an article linked, I think, just this morning that ESPN is trying to buy the NFL umbrella of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I have ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus sucks. The ESPN broadcast for stuff sucks. So
and it
I'm
keeps going up in
100%
price every 6 months.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
dude.
terrible. What is it? What is it at now? What is it at now?
I think it's like $13.50 after tax because you charge tax on it too. But it used to be, I want to say like $4.99 a month for ESPN Plus back when it really became a thing like 10, 15 years ago. And that was for access to like ESPN content on the website. And it wasn't even for like streaming games and stuff.
Insiders, what that used to be.
Yeah, ESPN Insider, that's what it was. And then once ESPN Plus became like a streaming thing, it jumped up to like $8.99. And then it went up to $9.99 and then $10.99, and now it's $11.99, maybe $12.99. I still pay for it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I still pay for it, but that's because they have the Big 12, so I can watch Tech, play baseball, basketball, all that shit. But also they have they stream pretty much every NHL game that's not a national broadcast with only like hometown blackouts. And for me, living out here, and when I was in the land of entrapment, I could watch pretty much every Blues game if I felt the need to be a sadist or something like that. It's towards myself. I could watch any Blues game I wanted to. So that was nice. So I kept it specifically for hockey and to watch Big 12 sports. Then I'm probably going to keep it specifically for that. They have been streaming more now. The kick in the dick is that if it's on ESPN or ESPN2, you can't watch it on the ESPN Plus app or on your TV app or on your phone because it's on the actual channel, and they want you to be paying for a way to stream that actual channel too. So like you can't get ESPN Plus and watch Monday Night Football. So that's stupid.
God.
But they have been doing more simulcast between ESPN and ESPN Plus, which has been nice. I do hope that their price stabilizes, or if they are going to raise it up, that it needs to be anything on ESPN is on our app, because unfortunately I will still keep paying for it because I want to be able to watch hockey, and occasionally I want to watch German soccer if I'm feeling extra, nationalistic.
Porny.
Yeah. And so there's that, but it sucks that every time it keeps coming up, every time that you go along, it just keeps going up. And it's like
Kendo, it's beyond that too.
Months.
Beyond the prices increasing on these things, just across the board as consumers, we're getting less for more, and we don't need less from the companies. Like the things they're cutting back on aren't because their bottom, like it's their bottom line. They want to increase their bottom line. They're fine financially. Like the WWE, because I don't follow real sports. I get it. Okay, I watch the fake sport known as pro wrestling, and I'm very proud of it. But as a wrestling fan, I only subscribe to Peacock because at one point it had the entire WWE library. Literally the only thing I want that bullshit streaming service for. Now, because of all these contracts and deals, well, the flagship show of the WWE, Monday Night Raw, their entire 32-year back catalog was just taken off there. But it's not on Netflix in America. It's in this weird limbo where they now pick and choose highlights that you get to fucking watch. When in reality, I just want to pay my $12 a month and I just want to watch like Raw from March 1999. Like just random shit like that is pissing me off, because they're trying to make all these backroom deals, because we're about to talk about this real quick, folks. Like Apple is losing money out the ass. They're losing over $1 billion per year on their streaming service. That's Apple Plus. The one that wins the awards for that show with Adam Scott or Harrison Ford, or that movie about the Indians with fucking Martin Scorsese. Like those movies, those shows, all that stuff that the people on IGN, the people that think they're high society, because let's be honest, a lot of Apple product users think they're better than everyone else because they paid $1,300 for a piece of shit, or $5,600 for some fucking goggles that are already discontinued. So you should feel like an asshole because fuck Apple. And yeah, I say that as a guy who draws exclusively on an iPad, so I'm a hypocrite. But my point is, Apple streaming shows have always been a little higher tier, and it ain't working. Like, nobody's buying this shit. We have the numbers. This is from Variety. Just Google Apple, and this is the #1 story. $1 billion in annual losses isn't a lot for Apple, but Apple is not an entertainment company. They make the shit in your pocket. They make the computers that like 9% of people use. They don't care. They can afford offsetting losses by just pumping out streaming garbage. Well, it's not garbage, it's just not, people aren't watching it. But to counteract that, Netflix pumps out garbage to just fill space. Other places pump out garbage to just fill space. Like, did anybody really want to watch a Friday the 13th show about Pamela Voorhees and they build up to her son dying? No, you want to watch Jason kill topless teenagers and throw people into fucking trees. You don't want to watch this shit. And that's, I would say, like, beyond politics, beyond any of this shit, streaming is more detrimental to entertainment than most things out there, because what it does is they follow trends and algorithms that aren't necessarily what people are watching. And so we're stuck with garbage because, you know, The Goonies is popular. The Goonies is great. But if you go by Google algorithms, you're like, oh man, The Goonies is still hot. We're going to make another movie. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you don't need to touch these things. And that's why streaming will eventually kill entertainment. But then physical media for a generation is just antiquated, and stores got rid of it too. So we might come to a standstill where it's like, you can't really get movies, because if you say that's crazy, you're crazy. How many movies have disappeared? I think I read an article the other day on the show, 85% of silent pictures are gone.
Yeah,
So
it was
what's
a
to
couple
say-
years ago.
Yeah, but like, what's to say that all of a sudden with these streaming rights and all these license deals that fall apart, like, movies just go away and they're prohibitively expensive on disc and you just don't fucking watch it. Don't tell me you're going to go pull out a videotape of it. No. I think streaming is a bad idea that society jumped onto for convenience, and then the pandemic, people glommed onto it, and now we're just like, fuck streaming. A lot of it's just an inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like the prices are getting to be the price, like all of them together are getting to be the price of cable, what we used to pay back in the day. So it's becoming prohibitively expensive for all of that stuff. And like you said, we're getting less all the time. I think last year there was an article where I want to say Paramount Plus like deleted 11,000 movies and shows from their platform and then raised the price. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, it's
Warner
stupid.
Brothers just got rid of all the Looney Tunes on HBO Max.
Yeah. So now people have to track that down and like buy that box set, because if you don't, you know, you're gonna be out of it.
And on top of that, all your streaming services together equal almost a cable bill. And one of the reason why people are like, oh, I got to cut the cord, man. I want to stream. I don't have to watch ads. Yes, you do, because now nearly every streaming service says, here, you can pay $6 or $7 to watch our stream, but you got to watch ads. Unless you pay double, then you don't have to watch ads, which we have Max without ads. I paid the extra not to watch ads on Max because Max's ads were always insanely long. Like, you'd be watching something and mid-movie, you would have to sit through like 90 seconds to 120 second ads sections. And it was always like terribly timed ad spaces. Netflix, their ads are usually only like 30 seconds and they're at like natural break points. So I can tolerate that because I don't want to pay the extra for the Netflix without ads. I can live with the ads because also if you watch a movie on Netflix, it's usually they have like ads before and then they will have an ad like somewhere in the middle. Paramount Plus, I think they do. I think there's the one where you have to watch ads at the beginning. So you're going to watch like 2 minutes worth of ads at the beginning of a movie, but then you have but it tells you it's like, sit through this, brief ad break and then enjoy, ad-free movie, from here on out. And so
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Well,
so I don't mind that. I don't mind turning on a movie like the Paw Patrol movie, which I've seen repeatedly over the last couple of weeks, along with the Mario
And you used to
movie.
make fun of Dion for that shit. Karma.
Yeah, well, at least the Paw Patrol movie's not that bad. It's a little definitely kid heavy, but there's a few jokes in there every now and then that they throw out there that I think are aimed towards the adults, especially from Rocky. And yeah, so it's like sit through this ad break and then enjoy an ad-free movie. I can live with that because when I had Max with ads, you didn't get that. You got ads like if you tried to watch Batman '89, you would get ads like every 30 minutes for like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and it was annoying.
That's fucking terrible.
So I'm like, yeah, we're paying without ads because, especially if we're watching like a cooking show or something like that, I don't want to sit through the ads. I want to see who gets chopped, like right now.
I'm the same way. I am lucky. One of our listeners, he's a friend. I'm just gonna call him my buddy. Hooks me up with Max, so there's no ads there. But dude, wrestling's the worst. They have taken pay-per-view events and they have cut commercials into them. So, for example, WrestleMania 2000, garbage pay-per-view. But I'll go to watch the main event. The Rock comes out. If you smell, and then commercial cut like you were going to a TV break.
Hard cut, really?
Back, hard cut in the middle of dialogue. They'll do it in like the middle of anything. I think they just use an AI algorithm to figure out like how many ads we can fit in this 2 hour and 45-minute presentation. You know what the fucked up part about the WWE is? They alter their master footage. They lied. Years ago, they said, oh, we have only edited our footage for home video release. We haven't altered our masters. No. They've altered their masters, and you can't even get original shit anymore. I'm not saying there's going to be an entertainment collapse. That's ridiculous to say, but I think Tubi's the future. Like Clone Geek was said, Looney Tunes is on Tubi. I think Tubi, the future of streaming is it's all free. You watch a bunch of commercials like it's cable, and that's all she wrote. Because that's how we make money on the channels, through ad revenue. That's how these big companies make money, through ad revenue.
I think Tubi also gives you the commercials at the beginning of the movie too, if I remember correctly. Because we watched Slam Dunk Ernest the other night. Yeah, great movie. And I believe it was the same thing. It's like, enjoy this ad break, or sit through this ad break and enjoy like an ad-free movie on us or some shit like that. And yeah, Tubi gave you, I don't think there was any ads in Tubi after you started the movie. If you watch like Sanford and Son, like I tend to do on Tubi, then yes, you will get like commercials. But it's like if you watch the broadcast version of it, it's the same commercial breaks pretty much that are fed into it, but it's also substantially less, because if you were to watch it on like, Nick at Night or BET or whatever channel was showing Sanford and Son, you'd have to sit through like a 5-minute regular commercial break as opposed to like a 30-second commercial break.
Is BET still around?
Yep, they have their own subscription service as well.
Oh,
and Tyler Perry's over there he's got like 4 shows on that shit.
He also has an Oscar.
He does.
Yeah, calm down. Honorary.
Well, no, there was something I read recently about ads that's really terrifying. They're going to make it because all of our TVs are like internet, connected. They're going to make it soon to where you can't mute the TV on ads. It'll just automatically unmute it, and you have to hear them as well.
Hey, Nick, you know what the best thing is? I can just get off my couch, walk into my kitchen, get a drink, and like wait.
Well, here's another thing, Jefferson. They're going to make it to where you have to make eye contact with the TV or your phone device to watch the ads to get back to your content too.
I will never support that. I would rather destroy a TV.
It's becoming very like Black Mirror. So like, be prepared.
No, it's Fahrenheit 451. Like, I'm sorry, Dion. What were you saying? I just get really mad thinking about the.
No. You're good. To Nick mentioned the audio part and all that. To that very point, Amazon, I think just today or yesterday, took away the restriction software on Alexas. So now just automatically all the audio gets uploaded to the cloud.
Yep. Well, they were doing that before. Now they're just legally telling you that they're doing it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, a lot of this stuff is happening.
I'll agree that I don't think the entertainment it's not going to collapse, but we are definitely reaching a forced meeting point between how much money they're willing to push for off of us and how much the consumer's going to take it. Because especially with the eye reading thing, if they decide to put the technology in televisions, how many people are going to buy them? What is the market going to do then? Is there going to be someone that makes televisions that don't do that to get a leg up and then add it later? To your thing about the ads in for wrestling and them altering the Masters. The NFL started doing that. So, on top of the fact that the NFL waited too long to update their platform, and then they came out with NFL Plus and it sucked. So now it's hopefully it doesn't happen, but ESPN Plus has been, before this news broke, NFL Red Zone, which is supposed to just be continuously streaming games, no commercial breaks, was a huge selling point. They started doing simultaneous ads where they shrunk the game and they had the ad in the remaining space of your television.
Boo. Yeah, Red Zone costs what, $80? Dude, when I lived out west, we had NFL Sunday Ticket. That shit was expensive. That was like $279 for a season. And I understand, like, when you have the rights to broadcast a show, you're gonna get ads. I get that. But Red Zone was the conglomeration of all their own specific highlights. There's no reason to watch a fucking ad on a Red Zone product. It should just be highlight after highlight. This is me saying this shit. You know me. I'm not the biggest sports guy, and I had this shit.
Well, that's like Red Zone's biggest selling point. Like, if you tune into Red Zone channel, the dude is on there telling you that, strap in for 7 hours of uninterrupted commercial-free football. Like, that's their thing. It's like, you can turn on Red Zone. Like, if the Chiefs are on prime time, I can turn on Red Zone and enjoy a full day of football. No commercials, no ads, just going from game to game to game to game to game, with the occasional break spot, like when the early window, pretty much everybody goes to halftime within a few minutes of each other. So you are going to have like 10 minutes of downtime, but they don't show you commercials. They just show you highlights and stats and, betting odds and things like that, which, as a sports person that also tends to be a degenerate gambler to a degree during the football season, those are important things. And yeah, you can't really have ads on the Red Zone channel. However, I did have an idea. So if they're really going to come up with this like whole thing to scan to see if you were sitting or watching their ads, what you got to do is get a bunch of glass eyes and mannequins. And then we can market these things, and we can call it the Dion and be like, you not want to watch your ads? Here's a Dion for your room. And you can have a Dion that sits on the couch with you. It's a life-size mannequin. Looks like Dion, and it can sit on the couch with you to watch TV. So that way you can walk away, and Dion will watch the ads for you.
Also, folks, you should invest in a Dion, because Dions also count for high occupancy lanes in major American cities.
Right.
So your Dion will be lightweight and efficient and lifelike. So take your Dion.
Oh,
you know what? Your Dion can be folded up into a convenient travel size package. It's like the Iron Man suitcase. Boom, 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 boom. There's your Dion. He watches your ads. He gets you in the high occupancy lane. He does your taxes. That's disclaimer, that doesn't actually do your taxes. But there we go. We need a Dion for everybody.
Yes.
And if you choose the premium Dion, it comes with usable holes, and it stays.
Does it have a threaded screw for a dildo attachment?
Oh my god!
Easy cleanup and easy reinstall.
We took something that was supposed to be wholesome and funny.
Dishwasher safe too.
Mannequins. And we turned this into something completely different. And
Kendo, it's still wholesome. It's just a different type of wholesome. All right.
Yeah, it's wholesome. Yeah, I get
Dion and Dion gets $1 for beer money every time you people buy.
I was gonna say, with every Dion you purchase comes personally autographed by Dion. And if you buy one within like a 50-mile radius of Lansing, Michigan, he'll deliver it for you. And he will sit there with you while you test out your Dion, because Dion loves mannequins.
Quality control. And if you go with the Premium Plus package, you can get everything life-sized. Everything.
I got a question. Can we offer our Dion with a streaming service? It's like a subscription service that he'll do all this extra shit, and you only have to watch a few ads? Because I feel like we could really cash in. We're selling you a thing that will watch your ads, but you have to watch an ad for your thing to watch your ads.
Yes.
That's how we make it.
And it's for the next WCBS movie, for the next project. It'll be our own ads. It'll be great.
The best part is we can handle it like a brand new car, like where you get a year's worth of like me, I got a year's worth of like Toyota Plus, so I can turn my car on and off via remotely through my phone. But after a year, it costs $15 a month to do it. Your Dion will watch ads for you automatically for the first 6 months, and then after that, you got to pay $5 a month to get your Dion to watch ads for you.
Oh my god!
And then after 6 months, we'll raise the price, and then we'll raise the price again, and then we'll raise the price again. And if you don't like it, we don't care. We already got your money.
There's a firmware update where your Dion becomes your best buddy, and he'll like turn over and look at you and say, "Let's play a video game, buddy." And then he'll just like turn and play RoboCop or something with you. And he's like programmed like the real Dion.
When you're reading out your credit card number, your social security number, his ears perk up and like downloads the information to our secret server.
Yeah.
No, we promise.
I think we just went into the realm of credit card fraud, Nick. That is a crime. So, folks,
only if you get caught.
If your Dion is, committing credit card fraud, that would be Nick Utam, care of Jeff.
You can actually You can email Nick at worldclassbullshitters@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
By the way, it's official. If you buy a Dion, we got to brand this. It's spelled D10 and then the letter N. That's how you spell it. That's our movie. D10N.
Yeah, it's Dion, but it's also the Big Ten Dion, so it works out.
Yeah.
That's a very meta thing right there.
Sent from the future to protect the most important thing against the war against the machines.
Not watching commercials.
That's how Skynet gets taken down. We hack into its system and we make it play a bunch of ads like for medicine and old people shit, and it just doesn't stop. And then Skynet's like, and it blows up.
We infected with pop-ups from what? From like 2001?
Yeah. That's the
It'll
future,
keep
guys.
your
That
mom nice and comfy.
That works. That keeps your mom nice and comfy.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
when your mom's lonely, use the Dion. It's got the warming feature and a USB plug right in the chest. Dunk.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
Hey, lady.
you're gonna have to train your internal like web cameras to watch your house that that doesn't automatically call the cops.
No. You get rid of your ring cams. If somebody breaks in, your Dion will walk to the front door and stop them.
Yep. Do I know you, motherfucker?
Or help them if you haven't paid your
Yeah,
subscription service.
Nick, we're just writing the movie Companion with a dude.
We are. We're just writing. Yeah, we're just writing the better movie companion. That's all it is.
Speaking of awesome stuff like Companion, we have an awesome listener in the chat. By the way, folks, we talked about this guy last week on the show. Our friend Derek says, "Hey guys, it's me, Derek from the con. I enjoyed all of your Stealing Solo and enjoyed the latest tour videos. Thank you guys for all you do." Derek, thank you for coming and hang out with the con.
Thanks, buddy.
Folks, I told you guys about a guy we signed a Shuricopter to, and he hung out with us, and he was awesome. That's Derek in the chat right now. So, folks, come hang out with us. I know everyone's like, we got to go to these hangouts and these meetups and stuff. WCBS operates a little differently. We are all about, I don't want to say the product, but, this is where we are right now. We want to get Wokebusters into everybody's hands in America. And so when we go to these cons to move the books like Stealing Solo and all that wonderful stuff, we get the double opportunity to hang out with people. And Derek was so fun to hang out with. Folks, when we get to some of the bigger city cons, we'll do meetups where we go out to dinner and hang out. Like, be world class. Be like Dr. Coffindale's, Get on the reservation list. Show up in a suit, go to a fancy dinner, go to the cigar bar, drink your drinks. That's not a gimmick. That's actually how we live the shows, right, Nick?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That was the last time we were in Indiana for Horror Hound. That was a fun time.
We can even we are so classy, Nick. We can make the state of Indiana feel like a primetime event. Like, we can make Indiana classy.
Yeah, it's true. That's difficult to do sometimes.
It's nigh impossible, dare I say, but we did it because we are world class, sir. But Derek, thank you for coming and hanging out, man. It was a blast. I loved signing the Shuricopter for you. Do me a favor. Don't open it. Don't do anything with the Shuricopter. Just display it. One day, in like 1,000 years, they're going to unearth whatever the remains of your home is. And they're like, what is this thing? And it's just the Shuricopter. So.
Yeah, and they're going to make a shrine to it. That's what they're going to do. Like in Planet of the Apes Part 2.
I got an idea how we should fuck with the future. We should buy a Shuricopter. And I should open it up and make it as a time capsule. Put a little note in Dion, let's bury it deep somewhere in Michigan, right? 6 feet under.
Yep.
Oh my God.
What we'll do is dear future inhabitants, this was one of the most successful toys in history. There were so many made. Everybody in America had one. But we wanted you to find a rare unopened version, blah, blah, blah. And then if they actually open it up, there'll be another box that says this was the biggest piece of shit toy in history, and you've been stuck with it. So let's just troll the future.
That sounds fun. WCBS trolls the future.
That's
That's kind of what we do.
We hated it now, you'll hate it then.
Yeah. We suffered in the present, so you have to suffer in the future. Why? Screw you. That's why. Now, Dion, you've suffered through this movie. I have very little interest in it because I'm very against live action remakes just on principle. But, this Snow White movie, you guessed it's going to make under the 350. I don't give a shit about this movie outside of my complaint. Anything you want to say about it, Dion? Was it worth your damn time? Are you gonna watch it again? You know, like anything exciting? I'm gonna go with not for me.
I mean, yeah. Listen, it is. Listen, it is. If you are, a hardcore Disney one, more power to you. You're gonna love this movie. It is basically just a live action telling of Snow White. It doesn't really offer anything new. They're not doing anything new. The ending of what happens to the stepmom witch is a little different, but other than that, it's not anything new. And then if you're not a big Disney person, if you're not a person who was a hardcore fan of the animated one, it's not gonna tickle your fancy. I mean, overall, it has a beginning, has a middle, has an end. There's nothing that sticks out that's horrible. It's just the lighting is weird. It's lit the same way that it looks like that Minecraft is lit, where you can tell that they're in a studio. But it is bare bones Snow White, bare bones evil queen, bare bones the dude. They do a little play on the prince and True Love's kiss, but it's not different than the jankety live action ones we saw in the 90s. It's just Snow White.
I saw the trailer. I rolled my eyes. I'm very surprised how much people have been talking about this one on the internet. Like our local news ran a thing on this, and the chat shit on this movie. And this is the local news. Like, I don't think people in Philadelphia, Washington, Muskegon, or Muskogee even are going to subscribe to the fucking 5 WLWT news in Cincinnati. But dude, they posted about this. It was just shit. Like, nobody seems to like this movie. I think this lady put her foot in her mouth, but I don't think it's going to end. Sadly, I don't think it'll end the trend of live action Disney remakes, and we'll be stuck with this forever.
No, I don't think it will either. I think, like you said, we're stuck with it. It's Disney. All those weird Disney adults will go watch it and support it and watch it 4 times. Be like, it's great. We loved it. It's awesome. It's just like the original, except live action. Whatever.
Thank you for bringing up the Disney adults. Like, you meet somebody like, I would never date a Mormon, or I would never date this or that. I would never marry a Disney adult, because if you're my age, 36, and you're still getting geeked out to go to Disney World, and it's not to drink and ride roller coasters, but you want to experience the magic of Disney, you probably will get offended 5 minutes after meeting me, because I am not going to hold my tongue on any fucking that's the weird thing. When it comes to entertainment topics, I will fucking punch into those things like I'm in a fight. Real world shit, I'm a considerate guy. I will listen to you. I want to hear your point of view. I want to get to know you, all that fun stuff. But if you walk up to me at a comic book store, and not ironically, but if you're talking to me oh man, I love those Disney Star Wars movies. I had this discussion last week. I ripped into a guy for 20 minutes straight why he was fucking wrong. That's it. I'm not gonna put up with this bullshit anymore. And so a Disney adult, if some girl's like, oh man, I want to get married at Cinderella's castle, and then we're gonna go to Main Street USA. It's you're gonna marry a different dude. I am not putting up with your shit. I'm done. I'm going to Universal to hang out in Nintendo World with some random girl.
That's like Jeff on the third date. You're just an adult. All right, it's time for me to get the fuck out of here,
bro. First date. We're at dinner. We're having a steak. She's like, so I'm a Disney adult. I'll be, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I'm gone. I'll pay for the. I will buy her dinner, because I'm not the kind of guy to walk out on a chick.
I was about to say Jeff is down in addition over here.
No. I'm gonna walk up to the server. I'm gonna be like, hey, here's my card. Run it. Pay for both of these meals. Tell her she can take mine to go. I'm out of here. She's a Disney adult. That lady is going to understand my plight, Nick. It's okay.
Oh no, I listen. I'm right there with you. I have friends. I have good friends, but unfortunately, they are Disney adults. They go twice a year.
Yeah, but those people are cool.
They even have a travel agent that they know by name who gets them there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's they are hardcore. Their house is all Disney Star Wars stuff. It's.
Okay. Do me a favor next time you're over there. play one of my video. Play our fucking Rise of Skywalker live stream review. There we go.
Oh no, we don't talk Star Wars because we've gotten into a fight before, and I've just been like, and I'm like, they got heated. I was fine. I was like, yeah, these movies suck. They're like, no, they're great. I'm like, no, they're not. If you actually look at them and realize why they're not good, and like I went through the whole spiel that you did, like, you know, over these last few years, and they didn't like that I knew everything and had all the answers. Like they were just like, well, they're good. You know, I'm like, if you like them, that's fine. Don't convince me they're good.
They're objectively terrible, and I don't fucking want to have that conversation with people.
Yeah, so I mean, no, we've had like a heated conversation about it. They were heated, I wasn't, because I was very calm, because like, you know, I've been on the show and I've done this a long time now, so I knew all the things to say and to all of their stupid comments, you know. And I was just like, yeah, I'm, you know, this is how it is. I'm sorry you like it. That's fine. You're allowed to like bad things. But whatever. So like, what's something we never discuss anymore is Star Wars ever.
Yeah, I use that as a good litmus test. Like people say you shouldn't talk about politics or religion, and in my case, you shouldn't talk Star Wars unless it's the original stuff. But I'm gonna give a pass to Episode 3 because it's actually pretty good. So
yeah.
It's hard to shit on that one.
I also feel like people who paid $3,000 a night, bitch, are also the same people who are going to go watch this movie like day of.
So
it was not. So it was the four of us, and then there were 5 other people in the whole theater. So you know, it was not a lot of people going out. Obviously, it being Thursday, you know, grain of salt.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. You really can't count like crowd numbers on a Thursday.
Right. The pre-open, you know, I'll be very interested to see what's going on Sunday night. But you know, it is, and it's very fun that you guys bring up Star Wars. You know, it is, again, you know, and Hillary fucking loved it. She loved Snow White. She thought it was great, you know. And even as we were talking about, she's like, it's just Snow White, and that's cool. And I loved it. And what's her name singing was great. And boom. And I was like, all right. You know, it's like that is what Disney is. They're just making, you know, they just hit the notes for the specific group of people. You know, it is funny how much on the opposite end of the spectrum to Vince McMahon that Disney is. Like it is like we have our universe, we have weaponized liking, you know, cutesy bounding through the field stuff. We incorporated it in Star Wars, and there are people who will love it no matter what. And Snow White plays exactly to though. If you love Snow White, it is just you're going to be tickled pink like all the CGI chipmunks that are running around. You know.
Okay.
Even with that being said, right? It is, you know, if sitting and watching it objectively, you know, nothing happens.
I do have a question though regarding the fact that you saw Off-White in the 7 Miners. Oh, what? And
go on,
I like
please,
that
go
title.
on.
What? I mean, they're miners. They go and, you know, mine. So
Hi ho.
anyway,
Hi ho.
is there
That sounds to me.
So is there a prince in here that has to come and save, you know, Not So White?
No.
So no prince comes and saves her.
And that is, and I think especially with the movie after watching it, right? Like it is weird, like how that has become part of the marketing process. Like getting people mad and talk, like you could tell, like that is, it's like the movie's just generic. It is generic. There's none of that in there. But it's crazy.
Now,
there's no prince that comes to save her.
No, he's not a prince. He runs the bandits that are loyal to her dad.
So
The local
Wait,
sweatshop.
what?
So he's not a prince anymore. And in this one, he's not a prince. He's, you know, her parents died. Evil queen comes in, and then she becomes the queen, and she just starts taking stuff, and then people become poor or whatever because she's taking all the jewelry and she won't let them go pick apples. And then there's a group in the woods that are loyal to her dad that are like all thieves, and he's he's like the leader of the thieves.
What is
so
this
he's
story?
So he's the bad boy. He's the bad boy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. But if a bad boy is fluffed and has nice hair and can sing, then yes.
You and I have a different definition of fluff, because if I was working on a Disney movie and I was fluffed, I'd be very happy. Now, Dion,
Well,
the one thing
no, you just want to be the fluffer. That's different. But the
Springwood Fluffer is not my title, sir. That's Freddy Krueger's title.
Write that down, please. Write that down.
Oh, dude, that's a joke I've had for about a decade. I'll never forget Springwood Fluffer.
Right. Okay, so I know one of her controversies was talking about the guy stalking her, and this isn't 1937 anymore. And talk you. Does she at least end up with bad boy, Robin Hood wannabe?
You and it's perfect I get to say this. All of the internet shit, and that's why I've been saying the last few months, y'all got worked, son. It is like the most generic, like they, because everything, she grows up, everything goes bad, and then like she saves him, and then he's like, well, come with me. She's like, no, I can't. And he's like, well, okay, and he runs off, and then she tries to have her killed or whatever, and they meet up again, and like the bad guys show up, and they're like fighting together, and then they're immediately like, we're singing and we're in love, and they like almost kiss, and then that's the middle, and then it goes off where he gets captured, and she goes to like help him, and then she bites the apple, and then him and the huntsman escape. Like it is very.
What is like, this story?
Yeah,
this isn't even how Snow White goes.
This is apparently a generic, very basic generic story that we all got worked on somehow.
Well, hold on a second. I actually wanted to say this. I don't think anybody was. Okay, people were worked. That is a very accurate statement. But this Snow White situation was a lot like the Little Mermaid situation, which, and this is the point I want to make, all of this is people chasing the Captain Marvel money, because they look at people like us that joked about Brie Larson and got like 8 million views. And so everybody thinks that every fucking movie is going to be the next Captain Marvel. So this cottage industry that we have on the internet of all this shit, like that's what this is. That's what this whole thing is. How many videos have we made bitching about Rachel Zegler? I don't even know fucking shit she's in. I don't care about this girl. She's got back hair. Who gives a shit? I'm not watching her movie. I'll buy her a fucking razor blade. I don't care. Like, this is me. And I'm a guy who cares about making fun of the pedantic shit. But the Snow White one and the fucking Little Mermaid one, I'm a guy. I watch fucking Batman. I watch Die Hard. I watch the best action movie of the 90s, Con Air. I don't give a shit about Snow White, fucking the Little Mermaid, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. I'm not going to say what I was about to say because I don't want to be mean to the people. But I will say this. I don't fucking care. And every time people are going on about the internet, like, oh, aren't you outraged about Rachel Zegler and this and that? No, and neither are you. You want to click. Like, I look funny. At all these subjects.
We thought it was funny.
Yeah. That's all this shit is. It's like, I'm looking for clicks on the internet. And I don't have any problem with anybody's hustle. Go out there, do your shit, make your money, go make it. I respect how you're operating, I guess. But my point is, like, this movie's a nothing burger, apparently, according to Dion. Like, if you're a dude like me, here's the thing, folks. If you want to go out to a movie, go watch fucking Novocaine. That movie kicked ass. That movie was awesome, bloody. The girl was cool. Jack Quaid did a great job. Like, there are a lot of good movies out there that you can watch. Go watch Companion. Go watch fucking Flight Risk. There are movies from this year alone that are a really fun time at the theater. Don't go watch Snow White. Don't go support these shitty movies. Go support good stuff. Support us. Support your other favorite YouTubers. But I do have to say, like, the Snow White thing was so fucking boring to talk about. I never cared. Most of you didn't care. The lady's a shithead. Every actor's a shithead. Alec Baldwin killed somebody, but we forget about that. But Rachel Ziegler said
now
something.
He's got a reality show.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say this. He's got a reality show now, too.
Yeah, his rebranding has begun.
Yeah, I saw an ad for that the other day. It's like, meet the Baldwins. I'm like, no, because I know what happened to the last person that met a Baldwin. She's dead.
Yeah, right here. Shot through the heart, and who's to blame?
There's an ad for going in the movie that was like, he killed a guy.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
I swear to God, if we were ever at a con or an event with Alec Baldwin, I will scream out of the crowd, he killed a guy!
He's supposed to be at a con, actually. He's supposed to be at a convention.
Dude,
Hey, Kendo.
even better, what you do is you get like an empty box like Winchester's, and you have them sign that. Just walk up to the, hey, will you, yeah, just like that. You walk up to him going, and you hope that, he signs your empty, cartridge box. That'd be hilarious.
You know what I was going to say, Kendo, is you should go. No, hold on, Dion. You should do this because I don't know how Alec Baldwin will react. You and I should go to meet Alec Baldwin in full riot gear with body armor and bulletproof vests and say, we love your. And the thing is, we don't say anything. All we do is we straight up go, we love you in Beetlejuice. We're big fans of your work. 30 Rock was a really great show. Jack Donaghy for the win. Give him the DVD, sign it, say thank you, sir, and walk away. He won't know how to fucking react because he's waiting for us to say something shitty. Yep. But all we'll say is thank you.
No, wait, hold on. I looked up Alec Baldwin convention. Guess where he's going to be in like July?
Atlanta, Georgia. Where?
Even better, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, let's go!
Not really better, but closer. Knoxville, Tennessee Fanboy Expo, July 11th to the 13th.
Alec Baldwin has fallen off.
Here's what you do, Nick. This is what you do. Nick,
okay.
Yes. This is what you do. You get a still from him on the set of Rust and full regalia. You get that printed out on a really nice glossy 8x10, black and white even. Make it look really noir. And then you take it to him and you ask, and you just be like, hey, a huge fan of your work, and I get an autograph, and you hand him that and see if he's willing to sign that picture. That's a way to fuck with the guy without directly fucking with the guy, but directly fucking with the guy.
Oh my God.
That's better than you saying, hey, could you sign this bullet for me?
I said a cartridge box. It would be empty. Just
the gun wasn't.
Dude, but he shot that lady with.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about him at a convention. I didn't realize it was going to be this close and this year. But yeah, Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee.
No, that's all the Alec Baldwin shot somebody jokes I'm gonna rattle off right now.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Those cartridges, I'm spent.
God damn it.
I need to get a rim shot button here on the channel.
You do, you really do.
I'm looking into buying a soundboard.
He's gonna be there. If anybody wants to fuck with him, by all means, go ahead. I think that'll be hilarious.
I feel like
he's got all these issues.
One, I feel like you have to pay a lot of money to get an Alec Baldwin autograph to kind of like, weed out the riffraff that wants to just troll him. And two, I almost feel like they're going to make you go through like an evaluation process before you do that. It's going to be like, what's your favorite Alec Baldwin movie? What's your favorite Alec Baldwin memory? To try to like really weed out anybody that wants to screw with him, because he's got to know that there are people that are just going to want to walk up to him and be like, hey, you shot somebody.
He's also a huge egotistical asshole.
There's
no. They're probably going to put him in a separate room with security. Like it'll be like one of those like other. We've seen those rooms before at conventions, but it probably won't be like that bad. I'm sure if I hand him that picture, like you told me, if I did that to him, he wouldn't. There would be nothing to do. I'm not like. I'm not like threatening his life. I'm just like fucking with him. That's all I'm doing. So
yeah, and all you gotta do is say, dude, you're a big fan. I love all your movies. All that stuff. Be like, I'm a massive Beetlejuice fan, dude. I hope you keep making your own stuff because you're, a great visionary. Just nothing but compliments, and then they have nothing to go on other than the fact that all you gotta do is say, dude, I found this really cool picture. You look badass in it. That's why I wanted that picture signed. You can act completely ignorant to the fact that
Nick, you should commission. Nick, get me to draw. I'll draw a picture of it for you. I'll do a nice piece of art.
God. Wait,
and then be like, oh my God.
Or should I get a picture of him as Donald Trump and then have him sign that?
He would do that willingly.
Yeah, okay, he would be proud to do that.
Okay, all right.
So then these days, when he gets his ass out of trouble.
Do you think he would record a voicemail for me? Like he did the one for his daughter? Because that's the moment where I went, that is the Alec Baldwin moment where I went, you're God. Kind of a piece of crap. Like I think his politics are annoying as shit. Like Batista. You know what, Dion, what I do? You know how Batista made that video about the president and goes on and on about politics and we don't give a shit? Okay, so in the new 2K game, you can fight men versus women. I always play as Batista and I beat up the women. Because I know the real Batista would be so upset that he is beating up Charlotte Flair and Roxanne Perez and all these other women. And I'm
What you
brutal
should-
too.
What
you should do is record that and tag him on Twitter with it. Be like,
yes,
buddy,
you should.
I love playing as Batista. Batista is
Yep.
the best in this game.
Yep,
And it's
do
just
that.
him just like fucking pile driving Charlotte Flair.
Should I
And
put
not
Donald
the fun
Trump?
way.
Should I put Donald Trump on the back of his trunks to really troll him?
Yes.
Like his face
Yes.
is on his dick.
Yes.
He'd be
Yes.
so,
No.
oh my god.
What you do
So-
is you put Trump WWEH or WWEHOF on his trunk. So that way, if you do anything, be like, look, I'm just celebrating Hall of Fame, a WWE Hall of Famer, because technically Donald Trump is, in fact, a WWE
Yes,
Hall of Famer.
please.
I was there when he was inducted in person.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I have been in the same room with that dude multiple times. Yes, they're all wrestling events, but like Dion, right before you started going to Mania at 29, we sat feet from the stage, and here he comes rolling out in his fucking camel jacket and all this shit, and we're like, oh, there's Donald Trump. Okay,
now you
cool.
could
And then
because
that was
of
all
the
we said.
security detail.
That's true.
Shit.
Also, Jeff, at Fanboy Expo, there's going to be the two guys from Perfect Strangers are going to be there.
Really?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
What's the dates?
July 11th to the 13th.
Do you want to go meet Balky and cousin Larry? Because I fucking do.
Yeah, we can.
Yes,
I love
you
that
do
show.
want to do that.
Wait a second.
You can
Oh,
get
my
Bronson
Beverly Hills
Pinchot
Cop
to sign some
merchandise.
Beverly Hills
There you
Cop.
go. There you go.
Now the question is, folks. See, you got to remember, in my head, I've always been like waiting to meet Eddie Murphy. Like he's ever going to be here. But my point is, like, some things are reserved for him. But like, I don't know, my videotape, my laser disc, my Japanese magazines. I should get those autographed by Bronson Pinchot. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? I'm sure he'd be more than happy to do it.
If
And
I'm
he,
paying
I'm,
for it,
I'm,
he'll be
sure,
like, I'll sign
I'm
anything.
sure I'm sure he'd tell you all the cool stories too.
I would legitimately, I'd pay him for 3 autographs, get one, I'd be like, all right, can I interview you for Beverly Hills Cop? Just knowledge.
Yeah,
That's
just
all
have
I
him, on,
want.
have him on the show and have him tell you all the stories about it.
And by the way, I went for Perfect Strangers before I went for Beverly Hills Cop because I watched Perfect Strangers as a little kid. We're talking like 3 to 5 years
Yeah,
old.
you were
That
90s,
show-
baby.
Yeah, but I watched that show constantly as a kid, and he was always the guy with the funny accent. And then I saw Beverly Hills Cop around 10. I'm like, wait, Balky Bartakamus is in a movie? And then I saw fucking, what is that? Risky Business. And he's in that too, and the Langoliers. He's a great actor.
I actually just got Risky Business
I've
on
never
4K.
met an early 90s baby who doesn't know the theme song to Perfect Strangers like that.
Buddy,
Like,
it is on my
those
fucking
people at
playlist.
the end of the 90s, they're kind of chumps from our generation. Us early 90s, the late 80s babies, man, we all knew the theme song of that damn
Hey,
show.
Dion, when I
Every
say
time
it's on
hear
my...
it, I just start smiling.
Buddy, it's on my playlist. Listen. See? You can start smiling right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's all I'm going to play.
Yeah,
get
Jeff.
sued.
Also, if you get any of the VIP tickets for the convention, you get like VIP like line skip stuff as well.
Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker are worth the money.
And I'll go fuck with Alec Baldwin. It'll be fine.
See, there you go.
Alec, you the bomb and Phantoms. He's like, what?
Yeah, I just need that Rusk picture, and I'll shower him with compliments. And I'm sure he'll sign it.
Do you want to go further? Because
Yes.
here's how you go further.
Yes, Kendall, please come on.
You're showering him with compliments. Yes. You are giving him to sign that picture. Yes. And this is the only time I will ever endorse anything Bon Jovi because I fucking hate Bon Jovi.
What did he do to you personally?
Ruined metal music in the 80s because everyone's like, oh,
Fair.
he's hard rock and metal. He's not. He's what I call pink metal. It's metal
Chicks
for
liked him.
girls. Exactly. He's metal for
He's
girls
fucking
and
shit.
dudes that wanted to sleep
True,
with
he
those
does.
girls. What you do is you get that you gave love a bad name little thing, and then just let me know when to call you, and you have your ringer on. And then as soon as he's done signing it, my phone dials you, and you're like, and you all of a sudden you're shot to the heart, and you're to blame. And then you're just like, oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, John. Sorry, Mr. Baldwin.
Sorry, Mr. Baldwin, I have your ringer on.
I might have to be mic'd, and then like Jeff's gonna have to be like way off to the side of like
Nick.
the camera zoomed all the way in so I can get the video.
Nick, we're gonna bring a third guy. We'll get one of the guys from here. He'll be our cameraman.
Wait! I know who we can call who lives in Knoxville who will happily help us out.
John Cena?
No, Kyle.
I mean, it'll work because
Oh, God!
the camera.
It'll be a floating camera.
He's a bad guy now, boys.
When we get to the wrestling segment, I got a lot to say about John Cena. I'm loving what John Cena as a heel looks like because he is still the same nerd.
Yeah, he's busting out the
it's
"you
early.
people" chant. It's great.
Something up yet.
Dion, the fact that they go back to the John Cena sucks that we've been doing for fucking years, and we'll take the credit for it because
it's funny because like the you know my friends from Gallenberg all were all surprised it happened. I'm like, have you never heard this chant ever in your lives? What?
Well, we started that shit. And Dion and I have video. We can go back to 2009. That's the earliest we can do. We went to a house show. It was John Cena versus Sheamus at the Breslin Center. And we did, the Breakfast Club dance where they walk and do that like thing with their arms.
Yeah.
We were doing that up the stairs going, John Cena sucks. And we had the whole arena looking at us. And so I used to do it at B-dubs. We would go to our B-dubs down here in Cincinnati. We'd do it. We'd go to shows and do it. And we tried for years to get that going. We would scream that at the top of our lungs and people would look at us. We go to WrestleMania 30. All these British dudes are sitting next to us. We go, John Cena sucks. And they chant. And then the next group chants. And the next group chants. And now it's a full arena of people. And we've been doing this for years. So every time I hear that, it's literally music to my ears. Because fuck that dude as a wrestler. He was shit. And we get to be a part of every week.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny as shit.
I lost my
by the way,
voice at
folks,
that show.
that video is on YouTube. If you look for like John Cena fans The Revenge, you can see a younger me. Because you got to remember too, there's more than just the John Cena sucks. There's like a whole bit that we created. It's like the John Cena sucks theme, the you can't wrestle, and then we count down every time you hit somebody, 5 moves left, 4 moves left, 3 moves left, and we just count it down. Like we had a whole bit. We hated John Cena so much. And now the fact that I'm saying it's pretty solid, I think that says something about his quality of work. But we'll get to that in a moment. I'm sorry. I was getting excited.
There you go.
So Snow White's a fail for us. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Anything else you want to say, Dion, since you have suffered through that piece of
If you're a Snow White, if you're a hardcore Disney,
What happened?
he muted himself.
Oh, did he? Or did he?
Yeah.
No, two of the other guys are gone.
Oh, wait, they just dropped. There we go. Let's try that again.
Okay.
All right, Dion, sorry. What was that now? You just disappeared.
That was perfect timing. Damn, that's making me laugh. Right when I'm about.
And I caught it stray.
If you're a Disneyite, bless. If you are a hardcore Snow White, bless your heart. Bless your heart. You're gonna be happy. Good luck to you. Hi ho, hi ho.
It's off to work they go.
It's off to work you go.
Well, it sounds like from your very enthusiastic review that the controversy is far more entertaining than the film itself. So, folks, if you're looking for satisfaction from Snow White, well, watch YouTube videos, support your favorite content creators, laugh communally at the movie, and the next time we'll talk about it will be next week if it fails at the box office. I just personally, as a guy, I was never gonna watch. I hate musicals. I hate that shit. Those are movies for girls and their special best friends. Like, I'm not the demographic. I'm never gonna go see like Cats or The fucking Greatest Showman. Any of that stuff. I'm sorry. It's an art form. I respect those people that have dedicated their lives to musical theater. More power to you. I'm not even gonna make fun of you, but I don't want to be in the audience. I want to sit at home and watch a movie or go to a theater and watch a movie, but I don't want to watch some dude in a leotard jump around and sing about how he's free to do what he wants. I don't give a shit. And so I don't give a shit about this movie. And Dion, I just want to thank you again for biting the bullet. You are not only a great friend in my own personal life, but you're a great asset to all the people out there that are going to watch this in the future. Folks, thank Dion. If you don't see this movie, you owe Dion a thank you. You can thank him by buying him a beer at a con or shooting us an email to info@worldclassbullshitters.com. And this description line is "Thank you, Dion," and we'll read that on air next week. Thank Dion for anything. Thank Dion for a nice day out at the park. Thank Dion for clear skies. Thank Dion for, I don't know, your income tax check. It's Dion's fault. Hashtag
Or
thanks
just
Dion.
buy him a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You owe Deanna thank you. And if you subscribe to this channel,
Leaning on
Deanna
the
owes you
beer thing.
a
Definitely the
hand job.
beer thing.
Buddy, I'm 2 beers in and I'm feeling great. That's kind of my litmus test
what?
for the show now. Yeah. What? Two pints of beer and this
Hand
show.
jobs, not me. Not
this
me.
one. No, not you. But we
Different
do have a
deal.
request for this. We have this request for a button. And Troubles 08, thank you.
Imagine if you gave a white supremacist 5-MeO DMT, and then as the first one, as they're exhaling,
Yeah.
Who's that Pokemon?
John Cena!
There is your request, Troubles 08. Thank you very much. Folks, we love to dunk on John Cena. Now that we're caught up with the audience, let's talk about something that was a bit underwhelming this week. Now, folks, we talk about cultural elements, not necessarily just pop culture elements. So sometimes there are big things out there in the ether that we just have to discuss because they affect all of our lives. And we know they affect your lives just as well. And well, let's be entertaining and interesting to talk about those things. So, Kendo, we talk a lot about history here on this channel because of you. You are a very well-read man. Now, you guys know that there are certain historical elements that I am more interested in than others. I don't care about the War of 1812, and I doubt most of you do as well. I don't care about the Dust Bowl. I don't care about a lot of things, but I've always wanted to know what really happened with JFK's assassination. And now that we have the proof, we have these new documents that were leaked from the government, it turned out to be a big duffing burger. We kind of knew the whole story for the last, he died, 63 years ago? 62 years ago? I kind of feel like it was a big honey dick. What do you guys think of the JFK files?
I haven't been all the way through. But yeah, so far it's like, so much of it was still redacted. They did a good job of the cover up. I'll say that.
Yeah, we learned that Lee Harvey Oswald did it. Jack Ruby killed him, and a bunch of other shit we already knew. Jack Ruby had, organized crime connections. Already knew that.
Yep.
Lee Harvey Oswald was possibly a KGB operative. We already kind of knew that because he had spent a lot of time in the Soviet Union. Lee Harvey Oswald had went to Mexico to meet with Soviet ambassadors and things like that and try to, get in their good graces. We already knew all of that. The only thing we didn't really apparently somebody he met with was part of the Soviets' Department of Assassinations and Wet Work, which we already kind of knew they had that going on. I will say the only thing that I saw that I thought was hilarious was JFK Jr. apparently referred to Joe Biden as a traitor and a rat, which he was a career politician, so we already kind of knew that. He was a bit of a skis ball. But other than that, yeah, I was like you had mentioned, you're like, hey, you want to do this and go through all these, and I'm like, no, I'll let the people on Twitter that have way more time on their hands than I do go through there and read them, and then post the important shit, and I'll read through that. But yeah, we didn't really learn anything that we didn't already know, and Oliver Stone's still a bit of a fucking idiot, but
I was about to ask you what you thought about Oliver Stone's reaction to all of this shit. Like, that was my first.
I feel like Oliver Stone and the people that are really big Kennedy assassination conspiracy people probably are like, these are just manufactured documents that the government created to cover their own butts and to deepen. Essentially, they took Occam's razor and they said, handy logic tool. out the window. Let's continue to burrow down this rabbit hole even further into the conspiracy theory ladder. Because if you've ever met a conspiracy theorist, I have. Those people will go to the greatest lengths possible to verify and justify their conspiracy theory. And I knew somebody that was a massive JFK conspiracy theorist, and to the point where he was even like, the gun they had wasn't even the real gun, and this and that and the other thing, and they can prove it because it was actually not. I'm like, have you ever seen a picture of what an Italian Carcano rifle looks like? That looks exactly like the one that they are holding up. On top of the fact that he left the motherfucker in the book depository and just ran off. So it's not like they weren't going to be able to get that one. And there wasn't a whole lot of probably Italian Carcano rifles laying around in Texas, of all places. So, yeah, he had a reason for everything that I could just throw at him that would just tell you what the simplest and most reasonable explanation for everything was, all the way up to the part where the cop getting shot was actually a plant. The CIA executed him to give them probable cause to arrest Oswald in the theater at that moment. I'm like, the fact that he supposedly shot the president should have been probable cause. You didn't have to kill an innocent cop too. And yeah, we didn't really get anything out of it, but it's nice that they were able to just give us the dump on the files, thanks to, an FBI director that now Nick can identify with. He looks like him. To know that you can now identify with an FBI director and a first lady. This for you.
Nick doesn't like Patels.
I don't know. I gotta like that one because he's
the second lady. I apologize to our Vindaloo Vixen. I meant the second lady, not the first lady Melania. Sorry.
God, no. I have to be nice to Cash because he's on the family. He's on the family WhatsApp right now. He's listening to us all, so I have to be nice to him.
Yep.
Hi, Cash. Thank you.
I will tell you some of the best things that I've seen are Cash Patel memes that involve 1877 Cash Now.
Oh God, yes.
Those are some of the best memes out there. It's like, do you know an illegal immigrant? Call 1877 Cash Now. And I'm like, that's the wrong guy that's run the wrong department, but I get the joke. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh jeez.
Yeah. So it's at the end of the day, could Oswald have done it? Yeah, because he probably did it. And Penn and Teller actually were able to sit down in an episode of Bullshit and kind of prove that you could do it. I do think it's funny that Oswald, who was apparently a Marine Corps marksman, was considered a poor shot by the Soviets, to which I'm like, but he earned a Marine Corps marksmanship medal. They don't just give those out to anybody. You actually have to qualify as a marksman to get one from the
And
Marine
I've been
Corps
waiting on mine in the mail for the last 20 years. Shit.
Dude, I've been sending in fucking box tops for a long time, and I've never got my Marine Corps.
I do not like cinnamon. Well, I do like cinnamon toast crunch. I don't like Wheaties. I ate 600 boxes of Wheaties to get my pin in the mail, and it's never showed up. I feel honey dick, Dion.
The fact that this, hang on. Oh, hang on, I'll fix it.
He's upset about JFK too. I get it. Look, it goes generationally.
No, he's upset that his tablet has run out of time for the day. No, I was going to say the fact that they used stamps in Full Metal Jacket. They go out of their way to praise Charles Whitman and Lee Harvey Oswald's marksmanship abilities because they learned it in the Marines. Tells you that it's a well-known fact that he knew how to shoot really well because he was in the Marines. It was a sharp marksman for them. So we didn't really learn anything, but at the same time, it's kind of cool that we got all these documents with lots of Sharpie lines through them.
Yeah, you guys know me, but the audience, they know that I'm not the most I don't look into every conspiracy. I don't go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. The only two things that I've always looked into deeply are 9/11 and the JFK stuff, because I don't necessarily. The official stories always have holes in them that I went, really? But then you get and those were the only two things. Like the moon landing, I'm not going to get into that shit. I don't really want to. You can tell me in the chat if you're like, oh, the moon landing.
Jeff, we landed on the moon. Accept it.
I do. And that there's aliens on the opposite side and the fucking Pink Floyd songs about us. I don't care. My point is, this is a story that since I was a little kid listening to Coast AM, I shouldn't have listened to that shit, but I listened to that as a kid, and I've always been curious about the official story. And now we get these documents, and it's just pretty much we've known the whole story for 63 years. I'm not disappointed. I don't know, I'm ambivalent, maybe a little deflated because I thought like we were gonna get something big.
Yeah, because you've heard all these things like the babushka lady, the supposedly if you see like in frame 343 of the Zapruder film, you see like a barrel coming out of the bushes, you see this and like da 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 da, and it's like, oh, what happened? It's like, okay,
Nick, I want to believe just like the X-Files, but now that the official story, the documents have been released, and I'm sure that there could have been tons of information that the CIA hid. I'm not going to act like this is only what's out there or what's ever been. But I'm going to kind of just stop thinking about it. I like that they went ahead and released all this shit, but we have other things we have to worry about right now.
Yeah,
this dead guy.
No, I'm with you, and like, yeah, because I think since I watched X-Files as a kid, like that's when I learned about JFK and knew what it was and looked into it and things like that, and then I was like, holy shit, this is a crazy thing that happened, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is like for our age group, we were all raised in an era of like super cynicism in entertainment. And we kind of picked up, like, honestly, not even just entertainment. There's like a cynicism in society that we all kind of live through. And the JFK stuff falls into that. There are other elements or other historical moments that fall into that too. And not, some of the cynicism is justified, but it's nice to know that like there's no more coming out from this story. That's it. We're done. Period. That's all she wrote. I'm happy.
Here's what I like to tell everybody that wants to become like a massive conspiracy theorist about, oh, the government covered this up. The government did this, and all these things. Like 9/11, all these stuff, where there's so many fucking moving parts involved and so many people that have to be in the know that you have to keep quiet. The government could not cover up Watergate, which was a hotel break-in. The government cannot get Amtrak to run on time, and the government cannot get the post office to break even. Do you really think they could orchestrate these very, very incredible plots that no one ever years later sells their story to the Inquirer for, $100,000 ever? It's like the moon landing.
Yeah.
The number of people that would be required to film a moon landing, and some, best boy or gaffer is not going to sell his story for $10,000 to tell you, I was on the set. That's the rock that I kicked over to Neil Armstrong. That's what I got to tell you. The government cannot be this brilliant entity and completely stupid at the same time. It doesn't work.
Agree.
You can't have them both. It's like Bush did 9/11, but Bush was also super stupid. Well, is he so brilliant that he could pull off this massive fucking plot flawlessly and be a complete jackass moron at the same time? You can't have it both ways. I know lots of people want to have it both ways.
It's true, bro.
You can't have it both ways. That's not how it works. It's just like the part where they like, it's, oh yeah.
He is evil. Like if there's an evil human being, it's Dick Cheney.
I will give you that fuck, what's his name?
Cheney.
I can't remember his first name. I wanted to call him Lon Chaney. Like, no,
Dick
that's
Cheney.
different.
Dick
Cheney. I will give you that guy is a complete warmongering evil individual. I will give you that 100%. The apple didn't fall very far from the tree with a certain offspring of his, always wanting us to go to war with people that we have no reason to fight. And but at the same time, the number of moving parts and how many cogs are in that wheel to pull that one off, and none of them are going to squeak. It does not. The government is extremely inept. We're seeing this based on a lot of the money that they're spending on silly shit. No, you're not going to get no one to just dummy up and not speak about it. So
that's true.
That's all I gotta say.
Well, yeah, I feel the same way about the flat earthers as well. It's like, come on.
We watched a documentary where they proved the Earth was round twice, but they insisted on doubling down. When they had the thing.
I love how they had
always up the sign, brothers.
When they had the thing that they paid all that money for to sit on the ground to detect any movements, and it detected that the Earth was moving.
It was like $15,000.
Yeah, yes. No. It was like
moving at the precise amount of distance and speed that it was supposed to, and they blamed heaven energies. Or
it wasn't $15,000. I think it was $50,000. Like it was a lot of money they put together.
They spent a lot of money on something that would, detect if the Earth was actually spinning. It detected that the Earth was a sphere that was spinning, but they couldn't handle that. And then they went so far as to do the laser thing where technically it should dip if it's, over a certain distance. They're like, we don't see it at all on the board. The board, it's whatever. And then they're like, here, lower it down, and it does, and it hits it. It's like, yeah, because the Earth is curved, and the response is, well, that's not right.
The ending of that documentary is like the best thing.
But folks, we're not wanting to give them any, publicity, but we're giving them publicity here. Go watch Beyond the Curve, or is it Behind the Curve? It's one of those two.
I think it's Beyond the Curve.
Beyond the Curve.
Beyond the Curve. Yeah, go watch that. That is the greatest 90 minutes of unintentional comedy you will ever watch. Our protagonist is a guy that gets friend zoned by this girl that he's really, really driving the paint on trying to get to.
Yeah, he
gets friend zoned hard by her and sort of cucked out because she goes and gets some other boyfriend, and he still goes around to try to be her, really good friend, to be there to be the shoulder to cry on. He never gets that opportunity, but he still tries, and they prove the Earth is round twice.
I love Eric T's comment. Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe. That's good.
Dude, that was a post that they posted about how they have members all over the globe. It's like, globe as in the round thing that we inhabit.
But also, I love if you ask anybody from the Flat Earth Society, they're like, okay, if the Earth isn't round, then how about the other planets? Are they not round either? Are they flat too? How are we seeing them in space if nothing's round?
Right. We should not be able to see the light reflecting on them the way we do. And when we look at them with telescopes, they look pretty fucking round. So
yeah. So
or if you watch the videos of the dudes that go up into the up into the atmosphere and skydive, you can look at the Earth on the outside and you can see that it fucking curves.
Listen,
I've had somebody tell me that's just the effect of a lens.
Yeah, listen, you talk about the American government, that's why I love flat earthers, especially when you have groups that are all over the world. You're not just talking about one government having to keep the squeaky wheel quiet. You're talking about multiple governments across the world that have to coordinate and also keep the other ones, keep your people quiet, and I'll keep my people quiet, and they'll never see the ice wall. That's why. That's why.
Are we talking about the flat earthers still?
We are.
Yeah, we're talking about how stupid they are.
We are, brother.
Dude, the part that blew my mind is that guy that's in that documentary, Mark something, was a patron of a friend of mine. Yeah, the flat earth guy. Like he sent us a fucking fan that we used every day in California. Like, that came from Mark Sargent, the fucking flat earther extraordinaire.
Oh my god! Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it broke. But anyway,
folks, that's the protagonist in the movie that gets.
If it gets you laid, I ain't mad at you.
Hard. It didn't get him laid.
No, it didn't, because I was.
He got a whole society of people in a club and everything. No, nobody wanted to bang him.
Technically, I cock-blocked that guy.
Oh, good.
Seriously, if you think about it, he was trying to go after. Never mind. Long story short, that's a true story. That's not a joke. That's how we got the fucking fan from that flat earther guy.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez, that's hilarious. That's goddamn hilarious.
Yeah, it was a coincidence.
Everybody
that was.
Speaks, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Let's check in with the audience. Folks, hit that thumbs up button. This has been a fun show. I gotta say, when the four bullshitters are back together, it's great. But shout out to E-Coin, aka Pete from Wrestling with Horror. If you guys enjoy him on the channel like we do, go subscribe to his channel. Pete's a great guy.
You're welcome.
Wrestler dad, all that stuff. And Kendo, appreciate you setting us up with a good replacement. But I gotta say, the beer makes the show way more fun. That's what's been making these more fun. I think beer is going to be, I'll have 1 or 2 beers a week and they'll all be on this show. But our friend, Enrique Vasquez, my personal friend, has another beer request. He goes, Jeff, can I get a Cervezas Crystal? Of course you can, Enrique. I'm feeling like you're going to get 2 right now.
Cerveza Cristal. Cerveza Cristal.
I love those commercials.
I do too. Hey, when we get together for the stabbing cabin, if you remind me, I will go out of my way to order a cervezas crystal. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I
All right.
will go to the multiple Total Wine and Mores around Las Vegas and be like, look, we got a huge Hispanic population here. There's got to be somebody from this country that wants Cerveza Cristal. You got to be able to order it. And I will stock up.
Canada's going to come with a car full of Cerveza Crystal. We're going to have to finish.
I will bring you multiple cases of Cerveza Cristal, and I will bring some, Big Dogs Las Vegas, lager. And I will try to get them to sponsor the show. Be like, look, I'm going to become a regular at this establishment. Can you just sponsor us by giving me free beer?
Honestly, if they were to say yes, I would still run the ads if only you got the beer. I wouldn't even try to be like, hey, we don't get any beer. Fuck it. No, man. A bullshitter never lets another bullshitter drink alone.
I'll stock up. I'll be like, look, you give us, 4 of these 4-packs, and I'll drink my portion of it, and I'll save the rest for these guys. And then during the summertime, I will drive over to, the east. I'll head east.
You'll head east.
And be like, look, if you meet me at these coordinates right here, I'll give you a bunch of free beer. It might work out for you because it might be close. It might be kind of a dick kick to have to drive all the way there to get, 12 free cans of beer. But hey, you get to hang out with me. So it works out.
What if Alec Baldwin shows up for a free beer?
Well, he's going to shoot one of us. So that's a problem.
Pew, pew. Alec Baldwin.
Get behind some really thick metal.
You are worthless, Alec Baldwin.
Be like, I wonder if those bullets can go through my car. I bet they can.
Yeah, it's not a Tesla truck, bro. You'll get shot.
Oh my God.
Personal opinion is, I think that is an ugly car. But people making a political statement out of it, I'm just kind of like, it's just an ugly car.
Oh, okay. Did you hear about the guy who bought one to wreck?
Yeah, I watched the video of I was never in a million years going to buy one of those cars because, Dion, you are my litmus test. If I cannot get to you in one tank of gas, I will not buy a vehicle. That is, and folks are like, oh, that's a joke on the show. No, I visit Dion, and Dion's family is like my family. I'm Uncle Jeff. Even though we're not related by blood, we're still related in quotations. I love those people. If I have to buy a vehicle that will I have to charge halfway up to Dion's house, that is a piece of shit car. The technology's not there. It's like a DLP screen or a fucking HD DVD. If you would have come at me in 2006 and swore to me on your life that HD DVD was the future, I wouldn't have given a shit. I was still rocking DVDs. But if you were to come up to me 10 years ago and say that these electric cars, no matter the brand, are the future, I'd go fuck yourself. I can't travel if I can't travel 315 miles in an afternoon, what are you doing? So that has been my issue. All I'll say is people are being petty as shit out there in the world. Really, just because you don't like somebody's car, don't go throwing dog shit at it. Don't go destroy it.
Dude,
chill out, people.
And it's not just that, they're destroying other people's cars, and maybe those people who bought the cars, don't like the decision they made, but they got to live with it because it's their car. It's their way of getting around town.
Yeah, they didn't buy a T-shirt, bitch. They bought a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can burn a T-shirt. You can't burn a car.
I'm not.
Hold on a second.
I mean, technically.
Yeah, I can show you how to burn a car. I'm not going to do it on the air, but I can show you.
I mean, personally, I'm not overly thrilled that my wife insisted on us buying a car that, came from the country that bombed Pearl Harbor. But at the same time, it makes me a bit of a hypocrite considering I spend a lot of money on video game entertainment that came from the country that bombed Pearl Harbor. So there's that hypocrisy, and my hypocrisy knows no bounds. But I will say, having a vehicle that gets 40 miles to the gallon because it's a hybrid, and the fact that, like Jeff said, I can drive more than 315 miles on a tank of gas. And back when I was able to travel from Indian country to home, I was able to do so by getting gas twice, was awesome. And so I will say, hey, you may have bombed Pearl Harbor and I may love your video games, but you know what? I'm kind of a fan of your cars too, even though that almost got me disowned by my father, who is a very, very loyal GM product, person. So I did promise that my next purchase would be a Chevrolet truck, which it will be.
Herbert
come on,
Green
Kendo, don't
would have
downgrade.
loved old man
So
Parker
no,
for sure.
I have a specific Chevrolet truck I'm going to buy. It's not going to be a new one. It's going to be a relatively old one because it's one that
Dion, I would just like to say how much I love that you always refer to your late father in full name. He is never just dad or my dad or our dad. It's Herbert Green every time. Or our fake dad, Danny Glover. Either one.
Right.
We refer to them by full names.
Yep. Listen, that is the type of when you refer to someone in their full name, that person was a fucking memorable
Legend.
fool. And Di and I were just laughing about my dad the other day, and we will do the same thing to each other. She'll be like, your dad is Herbert Green. I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. That dude was something.
I never met him. I know what you're talking about because I was friends with you when he was still around, and I heard those stories in real time. See, folks, it all ties in together about like when you get into a fandom or when you discover something. Like you've been there, you've seen shit. Like, we've been comic fans. We lived through the Clone War. We lived through this. We lived through that. I lived through Dion and a lot of those stories, and that is why we are super close friends. There's no war to go to, but we'll live through some shit. Like, you don't talk about baseball, Nick.
Damn right. Damn right.
Let's press the other button for Enrique because I'm thirsty.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
I didn't close that early. It just ended. Yes, Darian 217 in the chat. Dion is 315 miles from me, roughly, give or take a couple. And so that is my litmus test for I'm all about hybrid cars, no problem. But I'm not.
Let's see how far away Dion is from me. I bet I win.
The funny thing is that these people who are doing this were also the ones who wanted the battery powered cars and ushered them in.
Bingo.
And he's the guy who started the whole thing because he made the Roadster, which was $125,000, and all the celebrities were like, oh, it's great, it's battery powered, it's charge at home, I don't need gas, and they were all ranting and raving on it at late night TV, and then he's like, oh, let me make a consumer one, and he made several of them, and now that he's where he is, everyone's like, fuck that guy and his cars. It's like,
yeah, they loved him when they thought he was trying to save the environment. Then he bought Twitter and hung out with the bad orange man, and now he's a bad guy. For the record, Dion is exactly 1,964 miles from me.
Wow.
According to this 1 day and 5 hours of driving time.
Non-stop.
I wonder how far he is from me from, Camp Kendo. From Camp Kendo, Dion is
7 hours and change.
8 hours, 524 miles from me.
I was close. Damn. Hey, folks in the chat, tell us how far you are from Dion. That's all we want to know. How far are you from Dion? And
it's funny.
What?
So from Camp Kendo, Jeff was the closest, then Dion, then Nick. From Vegas, Jeff is the closest, then Dion, then Nick. So even though I moved a shitload of miles in that direction, it still holds serve.
You just moved really west. Like all you did is walk out of your front door and walk west until you got to Las Vegas.
You moved a couple hundred miles to the left.
Dion, that is the best way to undersell somebody's move. Homeboy moved 3,000 miles to the left. That's it. That's all he did. It's like, oh shit.
Let's see.
Luckily, I'm a firm believer in air travel, so I can get to all of you in about the same amount of time.
That's true. I am 766 miles from Dion.
Now, folks in the chat, tell us how long it would take you to walk to Dion's.
For me, 10 days.
Let's find out.
Episode of Hercules.
East Lansing, Michigan, walking, Vegas home. Not going to give you that address. I'll give you guys an address, just not, hang on. It's 29 hours on a car. It is 2 days on public transportation. And it is a whopping 30 days to walk to Dion from here. I would have to, according to this, I would get to travel through multiple states. I don't know how they picked a walking route on this one.
I know.
Straight line. Right. But I'd have to walk north out of Las Vegas, through the desert, into Utah, but I would not follow the interstate directly. I would cut south of Salt Lake City, cut across Colorado into Wyoming, Nebraska. I'd be walking a lot of time in Nebraska. I couldn't even think to do that without wanting to shoot myself. All the way across Iowa. I'd have to walk through Illinois, including Chicago, where I could go to Subway at 2:00 in the morning and get me a
Polar
sandwich.
vortex.
And I'd follow the
3
southern
o'clock,
tip
3
of
o'clock.
Lake Michigan all the way up around until I caught So I would essentially be following Interstate 94 until it becomes Interstate 69, although I would have taken a little bit of a clip over, at Kalamazoo or Battle Creek. So
Yeah, mine is a straight up. It's a straight up. Like there's no deviation. It's all the way up.
7.5, baby.
Yeah, same here. It's not 75 all the way, Dion. You take 75. I know this is a terrible thing, but the first exit of that is on the left-hand side of 75 from where I live is where you get off onto, 96 or whatever, and then you cut over through Akron into fucking Michigan. I've done it. I've literally driven to your house 50 times minimum. Like, it's not an exaggeration. I looked back at my fucking Facebook memories. I visited you like 9 times in 2012. There was no reason to visit 9 times, but I did. I just kept coming up with booze. It was a great time. Folks, I'm reading the chat. Everyone lives pretty far from Dion, but Eric in the chat said, I moved from Cincinnati before you moved to it. I'm from here. I was born here. I only lived in California for 5 years, so you and I are probably in the same area for quite a while, and you just didn't, because I wasn't making all these videos back then, Eric. But if you're ever back in Cincinnati, let's go get some Skyline and hang out. Because
I like how Dr. Coffinail says he's triangulating all of our positions as we speak, even though he's met us all numerous times, and we will probably gladly tell him the cities we live in.
Yeah.
He has my phone number. Like, Dr. Coffinails could call me any day of the week and be like, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Like, you can triangulate, man, but just ask.
You could probably get my phone number, too. Just don't call me. I fucking hate talking on the phone. Just shoot me a text.
Same here. I would rather text somebody. Just, shoot me a text. I'll text back all day.
I got no problem with the phone call. I'm fine with it.
It's the awkward,
like theory right now.
After everybody call Nick. His number is 859.
Why is this not coming up? I have his phone number. Why is it not coming up?
Because you hate Nick and you deleted your phone number.
There it is. So Nick's phone number is.
Yeah. I was about to say. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm gonna call him. See if he really gets his phone.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You're being doxxed. You're being doxxed on air, Nick. Thousands of people tomorrow will see it.
Hi, is this Nick from World Class Bullshitters?
Yeah, this is him.
Wow, I actually got through. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, it is actually.
We better go out and catch it.
Hello.
Hi, is this Dion Green from World Class Bullshitters?
Yeah. Who's this?
This is your old pal Buffalo Jeff.
Might have shit that I could break. I just throw shit off the desk and go running.
Gotcha, bitch. Anyway. Let's call Channel
God.
Dad next.
I don't know if I have his phone number.
I know. No. I'm pretty sure I do.
I'm looking.
Well, while you guys look, let's check in with the audience.
I do.
Our friend Darian.
Yeah, I do too.
We should all text him right now. We're talking about you on air. Love WCBS.
That's right.
Darian217, thank you very much for your generous super chat. Darian says...
Is anus.
Darian doesn't say late anus, but I concur with that statement. Heading to the movies this weekend to support a movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, limited engagement. There is now talk of the possibility of getting a Coyote versus Acme. Have you guys been seeing this? I've seen the poster. I've seen the trailer. I just have been busy. And I went and saw Novocaine instead, but I do want to see this Looney Tunes movie. Have you guys seen the trailers?
I've not seen the trailer at all.
Yeah,
I'm on board with anything Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I've seen the poster for sure.
Yeah, Looney Tunes is good. I really do want to see that Coyote versus Acme. We've talked about that in the past, about how they made that entire movie and then they shelved it. And I even think Juan Cena's in it too. So it's like I want to see that because fucking Wile E. Coyote is one of the best characters they ever came up with. But yeah, no, I'm 100% on board. Anything Looney Tunes, I want to watch it.
Same. Looney Tunes was always the better than Disney alternative.
Oh, 100%.
It's like Muppets. Anytime they come out with a Muppets
always
movie,
better.
It's like, dude, we gotta watch a Muppets movie. Muppets is always going to be fucking entertaining. Even the one with the guy from fucking How I Met Your Mother that came out like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
Jason
I know what
Segel?
I know what you're talking about.
Like I watched it, I'm like, I'll take a chance. It might not be that good like the old Muppet stuff. It was actually entertaining. I enjoyed it. I'm like, fuck, Muppets are still good.
Yeah, like we've talked about before in the on the channel. We need Muppets to show up in random like obscure, ridiculous places. Like we need
the JFK assassination.
Yes.
We need if they ever remake a movie, like the Muppets have to be the majority, like 51% of the cast and main characters.
Hold on,
that's how it has to be.
Kendo was onto something. The Zapruder film with Muppets, like Big Bird is JFK. Could you imagine like a Zapruder film where instead of blood,
fucking target,
it's just stuffing that pops out of his head, and it's like it's Zoe, Elmo's friend or whatever, trying to put the stuffing back into Big Bird's head.
God. Oh my god!
This is a dark episode. This is a February episode of WCBS. Let's move on. All seriousness, Darian 217. I'm a big Warner Brothers fan. I do want to go out and check this movie out because my rule of thumb, folks, is I don't care who makes it, with the exception of Disney for the most part. But like animation, I will watch. Okay, I will watch anybody's animation. I will sit through anything. Hell, I watched Moana last year for the first time, and it was solid. I love the idea of creating art to create movement, then to tell a story. That's my wheelhouse. Like,
yeah,
if I wanted to nerd out, I'd love to go to a museum that just shows you like early animation. I would watch it all day. Like that's my idea of like a good afternoon. So
yeah, there was a really awesome movie I watched last year called what is it, Mars Express. It was a French anime movie that was really good.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I bought the Blu-ray. I got the Blu-ray, man. I fucking love it. It's really good. It's really, really good.
Let's bake a cake and watch it.
I'm down.
And by cake, I mean ourselves.
Yeah, I mean you ain't got to threaten me twice. We'll walk over and get Little Caesars again.
We'll have Little Caesars delivered, like because we'll be so deep in this movie. We'll be floating through outer space. Whoa, man!
And then I can we can watch the Warriors in 4K.
And then we should play Halo and suck at it.
There you go.
Dion, I want to see you take a couple of California shots, like 6, and then play Halo. Because Halo is not your cup of tea. I want to see you like, what do I press to throw a grenade on the dude's face?
Yeah, it would take me half a day at least to get above 10 kills here. So I'm
hey, that's impressive. It took me 10 years to get above 10 kills per game.
Well, shit.
Yeah,
do what we gotta do out here in these streets.
Yep. Yeah.
The hard streets of Michigan. Darian, thank you so much for letting us remind the audience of the wonderful Looney Tunes because we're all fans. By the way, real quick before we read the next super chat, I was over at a friend's and he had a streaming channel that had Looney Tunes on. There's this new Looney Tunes cartoon where it's Bugs Bunny and a dog, and they have to keep like one-upping each other, and it ends with the characters like eating each other. Like the dog eats himself and disappears from existence, and Bugs Bunny eats himself and disappears. And it's like the weirdest cartoon I've ever seen. Like above Ren and Stimpy.
Sounds like that sounds like some Ren and Stimpy show is what it sounds like.
It's new. It came out within the last 10 years.
Okay.
Damn.
It's really unsettling. Enrique Vasquez, thank you very much for your generous super chat. He says, I find it ironic that they are calling Tesla Nazis, yet they're actually Nazi cars, the bug, still here. Haha, detention button, please. I have one of those in my family. I may or may not drive a bug up to Dion's all the time.
Funny how history works.
I mean, we come from a German family. We're just like, it's a car here. But, I get it. There was a point in time where I had 2 Volkswagens in this family. Mm-hmm. And they were beasts beast of a car. Like if I'm gonna buy a Volkswagen, I know it's gonna last for like 20 years. So,
oh yeah,
dude, that Jetta was dope.
Dude, we had so much fun in that car.
Mm-hmm. God, that was a good car.
I gotta remind you of a certain friend's car off air. That's all I'll say. Here we go. How to get Dion going. Enrique, here's your button you requested, friend.
You had enough yet? No. That's another one.
So?
You just say the word, I'll keep going.
Go.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Mo.
Your mother was a...
Ho.
He was a famous clown.
Bobo. Mitch, cut it out.
Now, the guys on the show can see me when we're doing the buttons. I acted that whole scene out off air, so I really do like that scene.
It's such a fun
It's so good.
Enrique, if you can't figure out what a California shot is, just think about it. What is Dion's last name?
What do you do quickly?
It's also a date in April.
How did I survive living in California? That's how a California shot exists.
It's not legal in every state.
Yeah, but it is legal in Michigan and Ohio right now.
Yes, it is, sir. Oh. Hey, Nick, when you come to visit, we'll take you some places. We'll go get some tea.
I love tea.
Yeah, especially green tea.
Yep. Yeah, green tea is the best. It's the best.
Space tea. Anyway, now, guys, we've covered a lot of stuff on tonight's show. It's been a laugh fest, at least on our end. I'd love to know what the audience is thinking at home right now. Like, part of me likes to imagine that somebody's listening to this show in their car and they like pull up to, through a drive-through and they hear us talking about California shots and all this random shit. So, folks, tell us where you listen to WCBS. We'd love to know. But what other topics have we missed this week? We're picking up to the point where there is a lot of stuff to talk about because just a lot of shit's going on beyond politics, beyond entertainment. Anything out there catching your attention, guys?
I'm just caught up in the sports kerfuffle that's going on. So the NFL getting their streaming stuff bought up. Obviously, seeing all this stuff with NIL and college basketball. You're seeing a lot of it bumping up against TV rights and stuff. It is interesting seeing a little bit of that spillover from Hollywood going over to sports, but also too, one thing that kind of came out of the Oscars was now there's this conversation about what actually garners you as a supporting role, because Kieran McCulkin and Zoe Saldana won supporting actor, yet their characters in some cases were on for the exact same amount of time as the main character. So that has been a very interesting thing to kind of spill out of the Oscars this year.
I don't know. Those awards are terrible, and they're always trying to redefine them. I mean, they did the whole redefinition thing, or a revamp for 2024, 2025, because it needed to make everything more diverse, and only you had 10 more criteria to make sure your movie was even considered for the Oscars.
I just put it on to you too as you walked in before.
Literally dealing with my kid melting down because grandma left and hasn't come back yet. So
just give him a Thomas the Tank. Hey, did you see Thomas the Tank Engine's been added to Train Simulator on Xbox?
No, but we've got like a Thomas game on his tablet that he can only access Thomas and like a few tracks. It's like, kids, get your parents' permission to get more trains. I'm like, no, because it's not like you can buy the full game for like $10. You got to like subscribe for like $8 a month to get the full game. And it's like,
I got a way around that for you. In the 90s, there was a Thomas the Tank Engine game for Super Nintendo. Get your kid an emulator and just get him that ROM. That game was like a bunch of mini games. And it takes hours because you have to do all these mini games, and then it builds a train, like a virtual train, and then it just runs in a circle. He'll stare at that for hours. I did. Like,
he's almost
seriously, get him.
We'll look into that. Right now, he is in a very big Thomas phase. He's now in the Paw Patrol phase. And he loves Mario. So we're caught between Thomas, Mario, and Paw Patrol. I can live with all three of those because trains are cool. Thomas stands the test of time. Mario is awesome.
Yep.
I didn't think I'd ever get sick of watching the Mario movie. We're almost there. And Paw Patrol doesn't offend me, so I'm okay.
There you go, Kendo. That's a picture of the game map. I think you would enjoy it because the music is like 16-bit Thomas, and it's very not. It's like the most non-offensive video game that exists. It's very true to the show because I was a Thomas kid. Like when you talk about this, I'm like, I know Thomas and Percy and Henry and Gordon and James and all those other dicks. Like, yeah, I watched the shit out of that show as a kid.
Yeah,
and now as an adult, I still remember it.
And you've seen my upstairs living room and how it's pretty much become the island of Sodor.
Yeah,
I'm a little jealous. Like, I got a nice collection back here, but I don't have anything Thomas the Tank Engine on it. And that was a big part of my life as a kid.
A lot of Thomas the Tank Engine. He's got 6 motorized different Thomas and Friends trains. Pretty much every, I want to call them Hot Wheels because they're essentially Hot Wheels, but the Thomas train.
Are they made by Ertl?
I don't know. I'd have to look, but
because I used to have the die-cast ones as a kid.
Every one of those except like Diesel and Young Bao. And
who's that?
And then here's Dad, who felt guilty about buying 2 Ross Chastain 164 scale die-cast for $14 each at the races the other day because I'm like, that's like $30. I really shouldn't be spending this much money because I have a kid to take care of, everything like that. But then I'm like, man, this kid's got so much shit. And here I am fretting over the fact that I bought the Ross Chastain green bush light salute to farmer's corn car. And then debating on whether or not I should spend an extra $20 so I can go to the Ross Chastain, fucking autograph session that they were having on Saturday from 9 to 9:30. Because it's like, spend $50, get a wristband to go meet Ross Chastain Saturday morning, get an autograph. I'm like, if I spend an extra $20 on a hat or 2 more die casts, I could do that. But then I'm like, do I really need to be spending this money? And then I turned around and spent like $60 on Tall Boys. So my priorities were all over the place over the weekend. But Doofus,
you had a good time though, man. You sent us some videos and things like that. You had a good time.
Doof and I had a fantastic time sitting front row watching the NASCAR for 3 races, and there was my fight with SeatGeek that happened. Too.
Yes.
You guys got real time on that too.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to hear about.
Folks, we talk about physical media and how it's important to own the physical media so they can't change it or take it away from you. I've learned that it applies to physical tickets too. It's not like the old days where you get a ticket and you can scan it or they punch it and then you have that ticket stub to show everybody that you were at that event. Now you get digital tickets for everything. And if some chuckle fuck sells you a weekend pass, that's a corporate pass that the corporate somebody bought for their people. They sell it to you as a weekend pass, and then they change their mind on Saturday morning to say that wasn't meant to be a weekend pass. That was just for Friday night. They can go and take it out of your digital wallet and send you an apology email and tell you that you still need to buy tickets for the next 2 races because they were only supposed to sell you that one. And then you can argue with Becky on SeatGeek for 6 hours to explain your plight and go from getting a 50% refund because the tickets were already used to a 100% refund, and then them tell you that everything's okay because you got to go to a free event out of it. And it's like, it's not the point. The point is I was supposed to go to 3 events for the price I paid. Now I got to pay more to go to the other 2 events. You fucked up.
Yeah. The crazy part, like when we were talking in real time, is you weren't the first person I heard about suffering from that in the same week. There were other events, like they're pulling stuff out of people's digital wallets. Oh, that's a mistake. Like, I understand everybody wants to build up stuff in a hyperbolic way, but I'd say in 2025 alone, there's been huge overreach into like what our digital currency allows. It's like, oh, it's okay. The company's just going to do this and do that. Kendo, you've suffered from it. I'm waiting for WrestleMania tickets to be a clusterfuck and all these other things. Like, live events are becoming really bad. And I'm looking for a better word, but I don't care. I'm tired. But my point is, like, it's prohibitively expensive. Thank you, Dion. It's stupid. Like, okay, Dion, you're close to state. Is state charging through the nose for any NCAA game? Are they playing anything at Lansing? Is it super expensive or is it like traditional prices?
It is expensive. I mean, we're obviously MSU fans, so especially right getting out of college, it wasn't cheap, but it was affordable to have season tickets. Now, especially with the way that the team was, football tickets are super expensive, and then basketball tickets. I mean, if you can get some for a a game that isn't prime time, it's kind of expensive. You want a prime time game, especially with the Big Ten being on Fox. Those tickets are crazy expensive. And for a college basketball game, even for stuff that tends to get, there was a 2 years ago, the soccer team got good, and those prices shot up too. So, and that's just with collegiate sports, going to concerts and stuff. A couple of years ago, I took Hillary to Elton John in Detroit. It was expensive, but it wasn't like crazy. Now, any major act or event coming to Detroit, Grand Rapids on the west side of the state, even here in Lansing for things that are at the Breslin, those prices have skyrocketed. We have a UFL team, the Panthers. This is spring, still professional, but not as elite as the NFL. Those tickets are damn near the same prices as NFL tickets.
And it's getting ridiculous because it's not a I can't afford it thing. It's this isn't worth that amount of money. Like if video games, I get that the talk of GTA 6 is pissing people off. Same here. I don't want higher priced games, but like if I spend like $70 on a game, I know that my game, like that's a game price. Like these tickets fluctuate. It's like I've been to 18 WrestleManias, a lot of WrestleManias. Normally I pay about $300 to $500 for the event. They want $2,000. I'm out. It's like getting to the 4 and 5 times the price within a single calendar year. That's the type of shit that pisses me off. That'd be like if tomorrow I walk into a store and a Spider-Man figure is $50. Oh wait, that's the truth. Check out the video in the future because it's a shit toy. But my point is it's not that people are broker than ever. It's that the opposite side of that transaction, the people who make it, want more now. Either they know something bad's happening, and it has been for the last 5 years, or they're just really shitty and really greedy. It's up to you for interpretation. But I don't know how to say this. I got enough shit. Like if live entertainment falls apart and most new products fall apart, I have so much stuff in this collection. I don't need to buy anything for the rest of my life. I could open a brand new toy every week for the rest of my life and still have something to open up after I'm dead. Like I'm good. We've reached the point where I want to consume new stuff. I want to enjoy new stuff. I want to go out there and have a good time with everybody. But I'm not going to spend $900 to go to a concert or $2,000 to WrestleMania or $20,000. I've never paid for Taylor Swift. That's a joke. But my point is this shit is getting prohibitively pricey. And the people, did you guys see they wanted $25,000 for a lunch with John Cena?
Yep.
Fuck John Cena.
What
25
the fuck, man?
That is a car. That is a college tuition for at least a year. Oh, I met an invisible man and had breakfast. Look, John Cena is not the world's biggest piece of shit, but if that dude, look, it's not even him. It's the WWE. TKO has been the worst thing to happen to the WWE. It's not just Vegas, by the way, Blaze. This is the new fucking standard. I'm sorry for cussing, but it's late and I'm drinking, so I don't give a shit. But this is the new standard with wrestling tickets, man. They think that wrestling is so hot that we're going to pay $2,000 to sit in the back row. They think that wrestling is so hot that we're going to pay $5,000 for a title belt, these new replicas, or we're going to pay $25,000 to meet John Cena. No, you shouldn't have to. These people like John Cena, The Rock, Batista, these big stars, they're worth $100 million plus. If that dude charged me for an autograph, fuck him. I bought his action figures. He got a royalty check. You can sign your name for free. I'm not saying I'm entitled, but a couple of the higher echelon people, that's like Virgil shit. Are you really Virgil John Cena? Are you Virgil The Rock? No, you're not. You're a little better than that. And it's all really crappy from TKO. The product isn't that much better than it used to be. It's better, but it's not worth that much more. And I'm worried that the WWE and other live events will continue this spiral and nothing will fucking work anymore. I'm thinking about going to the Back to the Future musical. If that's over $100 for a ticket, I'm out. I've seen the movie. I can quote it. I don't need to spend $300 to go watch some not Michael J. Fox act. But it's getting stupid, and I'm waiting to hear when the bottom drops out. I think WrestleMania is when the bottom drops out for a lot of this. But
No, I think you're right, but it's one of those things where, like, you know, it's the whole night of going out. It's like, if you're gonna drink, well, then you need to get an Uber. You're gonna pay for the drinks. You're going to pay for parking if you're not going to get an Uber. That's a whole other spiel in itself. Like, you know, that whole thing. It's like there's so many nickel and dime bullshit things you have to do to go out to a concert, to an event, to a live event, or anything like that. And I think it's terrible. Like, it's getting to the point where people don't want to do these things, and these people keep jacking up the price for what reason? Like you said, just to be greedy, or, you know, what's the purpose? Like, are they tacking on all these fees so that everybody can get paid down the line? No, it's because they're just greedy and they just trying to squeeze every, you know, dime out of you. It's just evil and just bad. But I think what WDB's suffering from is almost like a Starbucks effect, but with a Netflix effect, where just because they're on that platform now, they feel like they're worth more and they can charge more for it.
Bingo.
But it's the same quality show and it's the same thing. But I think it's going to happen with a lot of live stuff that goes to Netflix or to a major VOD platform. They're going to think just because they got picked up by Hulu or Max or Netflix that they're worth more and that people are going to pay more for this stuff because it's more of a premium. That's not the case. That's not how this is going to work, and they're going to see it. They're going to see it happen real bad. I think even now with Mania, you'll see what happens with people wanting to go to it. They're going to have probably the lowest attendance numbers ever for Mania.
And it's a football stadium.
Yeah, and I honestly think it's going to be like, it's going to be very lax. You're going to see a lot of people taking videos from their seats and posting and being like, "Oh, there's almost nobody here. It's really that." And like, there might be a few people like, you know, in the middle and things like that. I think what's going to happen is they're going to have so few people go to it. They're going to have everybody move in for the camera. They're going to upgrade them to bigger seats or close seats. So they're going to move into the camera
Nick,
shots.
As of now, they have sold so few tickets that they haven't even opened up the full arena yet. Like, you've been to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We've all been to Mania together multiple times. This is not a situation where it's like, well, some years people go and some years don't. It's it's like the weather. No, this is traditionally an event that people from all over the globe come to. They come to the host city. They get drunk. They party. They go to WrestleMania. They carry their title belts. Darian 2-7's hung out with us at these shows. Like, he knows what's up. It is so rare that they're like the news is like, oh yeah, they're not open to the full arena. Normally, you're trying to get it where you fit in. When we went to Los Angeles, Dion, that place was jam-packed. And like, everybody was so excited to be there. The line to get into the arena was ridiculous. The line up the street was ridiculous. Hell, we waited. The In-N-Out Burger line was ridiculous. But, cheap plug, there were 70 orders ahead of us. We got through that shit in 20 minutes. So you talk about efficiency. Ooh. Yeah, I give In-N-Out Burger credit. Like, people may not like their food. You cannot get better service in fast food. Anyway, back to the point I was making. This year is very pivotal for WWE. You know, I was on a Facebook post today. People were like, what do you miss from Vince McMahon? And people were talking about the booking, the stories. I said ticket prices because I do care that he shits on people. That's weird. Like, the stuff he does is weird. I'm not making excuses for him. But I don't know him. I don't know Janelle Grant, and I don't really care about all those other people. But what I do care about is my bottom line. And if I can go to WrestleMania for 2 nights for $500 and hang out with my best friends, and we get together, we rent Airbnbs, we do all this shit, and we're not even sitting in the back rows. Dion, have we ever sat in the back row of WrestleMania?
No, sir.
No. We're on TV. We sat on the floor for 33. We've done all this shit. Like, it's not that big of a like, I don't want to self-aggrandize, and I always try to, be humble about this, folks, but if I'm bitching about the price of a WrestleMania ticket or an action figure or shit like that, it is a problem, because I'm a guy that'll make excuses. I'll put in extra hours. I'll do what I got to do to make these things and have the trip the way I want. No problem. I don't give a shit. I will work for it. But now they're at a point where, you want to charge me $50 for a 6-inch figure from America. You want to charge me all this shit. Eat a dick, companies. Hasbro, WWE, Marvel, DC, you name it. Only Mattel is okay in my book right now. But somebody's talking about the tariffs. If any company tells you that game prices are going up because of tariffs, fuck them. Because most people are downloading their games. If Steam is charging me a tariff, if Xbox Live, Game Pass, or any of these things are charging me tariffs, it's a digital product. Half of these games don't come from China anyway. How many major video games come from China? Read an Xbox. It used to say, made in Mexico. Like, this shit isn't coming from China. These tariffs that they want to put on video games are a lie. I'm not about that. And don't even get me started on the fucking imports. All these people are saying, oh, the action figure collecting market is dead. The tariffs on the figures are going to kill it. Guess what? Here's a collector's tip. Buy from Japan. Stop going to Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and all these garbage sites. Nick, here's the thing. Those Japanese figures that I buy, they charge $105 to $125 a figure. They're $65 from Japan, and with shipping, it's $15. Like, why are you paying through the nose? If you're a collector and you're buying from Big Bad Toy Store for those, you're an idiot, and I will stand by that. Like, stop. It's so easy to get what you want for a fraction of the price. That's why I'm doing a series on it, to help you save money, because there's no reason that you need to be broke trying to be a collector or a video game enthusiast or any of these things. You can have everything you want in your collection, and you don't have to pay convention prices or GameStop prices or all this other bullshit. Stop getting screwed. Stop getting hosed as a collector. That's where we're going to step in. But like all of this across the board, I think the theme of this segment is entertainment is becoming more expensive for no apparent reason, and the quality is not increasing. Like, if WrestleMania gave me a gold watch and a hand job, I'd spend $2,000, but it's not. So
yeah, exactly. It is wild, man. And you know, hey, and that's one reason why we're not. You know, don't get me wrong. I'll have my drunk, fucked up moments and turn on some T Swift. But you know, we were talking about this shit a couple of years ago, right? Like, her tickets are. You got motherfuckers taking. They're taking chunks out of their mortgage, out of their pensions to go to Taylor Swift concerts. That's wild.
5 hours of your life for $20,000. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, man. Like, that's insane. You got people taking loans to go to see certain artists and events. Like, that is wild. And yeah, that bottom is gonna fall out. And dude, shit like WrestleMania is the perfect example. When we went to Mania in LA, we were excited because our boy Jake could go. And we told him, like, yo, it's a good thing you're doing it now because this shit is probably going to get more expensive. And sure enough. Did you,
buddy, though, like the jump in price. Okay, for example, folks, just for context, because we're going to move into something else. Like when we went to WrestleMania 39, which is 2023 for context, it was like $400 for both nights. And we had great seats. The next year, it jumped up to $500, and we had to move it back a little bit. Then the next year, it's 4 times the price. That's all I'm saying. Like, it is getting ridiculous. And here's the thing. You, as the consumer, have all the power. Guy named Griff, just say no. Just say no to this shit. Like, you don't have to do it. Like, FOMO is not as real as you think. Like I said, I am the biggest WrestleMania enthusiast. Outside of the green shirt guy, very few people have gone to more WrestleManias than me. But I said no this year. There's a limit. You have to put a line in the sand. Do not be a habitual line stepper, because these companies don't care about you. They care about their dollars. And if they think, well, you're an idiot, it's tax season, you're poor, you're going to buy it. Fuck Nick Khan and everybody at WWE. Even Triple H's candy ass isn't innocent. Like, it's... Sometimes a big company buying a bigger company, or a bigger company buying a big company, kills it. And I think the WWE's got about 5 years of them milking the fans that are there until those fans are tired of Cody Rhodes and nostalgia acts and The Rock and all this shit. Like, I ain't paying $2,000 to see The Rock. I ain't paying $500 for his autograph. If I see the dude up in the streets, I'll be like, hey man, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Get an autograph that way. But I am not spending what I spent for college to go to WrestleMania. That's it.
Right.
That's it. And like real quick too, we're talking about wrestling. Did you guys see that AEW spot where John Moxley took all those spikes in the back? That was like the most but dang, Kendo, preach for a second.
So I have seen both sides of the equation from it. Normal people that like wrestling like we do. We see that John Moxley taking a board with a bunch of nails in it as garbage. That is garbage wrestling. That is extreme deathmatch, garbage fucking wrestling. All to get a pop from the audience, from the fans, to say John Moxley's so hardcore. You don't need that dumb shit if you know how to tell a story in the ring, if you know how to fucking wrestle. Instead, we get this fucking garbage deathmatch bullshit. That is something that turns a lot of people off to wrestling, myself included. But I've seen the fucking AEW people defending it to the hilt, showing that Moxley going out of his way to show how hardcore he is and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this is nonsense. You do not need this. You don't need thumbtacks in a wrestling match. You don't need nails on a board in a wrestling match. You don't need barbed wire bats in a wrestling match. The people that this appeals to are idiots. It's the idiot wrestling fan. That's all I can say. These are the people that want to go and see the fucking idiot, the guys busting light tubes over each other and call it wrestling. This is not wrestling. It does not take talent or skill to do this shit. If you think that it takes talent and skill to do this, go look up. What is that guy that does it for the Juggalo and Juggalette thing?
Super Human 2388.
Yeah, Superhuman. Yeah, go look at videos of Superhuman falling through shit. I watch those when my friends post them. Why? Because I don't laugh at the guy for being fucking dumb. Okay? I don't think that you that's not a wrestling skill. Falling through shit is not a wrestling skill. This is not a wrestling skill. This does not make wrestling good. This makes wrestling look stupid, and it makes it look fucking amateur and outlaw and ridiculous. And this is the indie type of bullshit that people do in front of 35 people at a fucking high school gymnasium to try to get over with the audience. And you don't have to do these things if you know what you're doing. This just shows how Moxley, Dean Ambrose, whatever you want to call him, could have printed money in the WWE being a regular wrestler and doing all these things. But instead, he wanted to go someplace that would allow him to do all these dumb fucking shit and mutilate himself because he's allowed to have creative control. And there's a line in the sand that has to be drawn where you don't get to do all the silly fucking things you want to do in a wrestling ring because it makes the business look fucking stupid. This is one of those things.
Thank you, because I had the exact same thoughts. I won't even repeat any of the points you make, but I loved Mick Foley. I loved what he did. That was special and different and rare and unique and new. But AEW is so bad in terms of its performance. Like, people think, oh, it sells out. I forgot to make the video because it's how irrelevant it is, but like AEW gave me free. I was a plant for AEW. They took me in. They gave me free tickets. They put me in the front row. I met Tony Khan. All that shit's documented. Like, follow me on social media. You can see all those pictures. I'll make the video. But like, if a company like WWE is what it is, we're bitching about it. But like, they're not desperate to give people free tickets to go to their shows. I looked at this Jon Moxley clip. I also looked at the Jey Uso clip, like him falling over the top rope, flopping like flop dollar. Yeah, I laughed. I have no problem with wrestling being, hardcore and this and that, but this was just like kind of gross. It's like
AEW that stuff.
Yeah. Also, too, like when they do that whole like black bag choke out Daniel Bryan with the plastic, I thought that was really like dumb for wrestling, because the point isn't to try to kill your opponent. It's combat. It's fake combat sports. And the whole point of wrestling, as we know as fans, is you take care of your opponent so they can work again, because if they don't work, they don't eat, and it's a business and you're supposed to take care of your other wrestlers. This Jon Moxley shit, like, you can't. Here's the thing. I wish Jon Moxley could see this clip. You can't cut a promo to save your fucking life. I've watched your. And here's the thing, Dion, when he was in the WWE, we used to watch his CZW clips. We tracked this dude's career down. Yep. We were fans of all the Shield dudes, except Roman Reigns, because he sucked dick. But my point is, like, we were really into this shit. Yeah. We followed him. And it was cool then, but, like, it's edgy to be edgy, and we're past that point. It's like, honestly, AEW is just internet wrestling come to life. And there's just a rich internet mark that has a fuckload of money that he can just pay people in perpetuity to do stupid shit because his daddy has a patent on something important and he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's why AEW is an outlaw mud show. When I watch shit like this, I'm embarrassed to be a wrestling fan because it's not cool. It's just dumb. Like, what's next? Here's the thing. Where do you go from this? How do you escalate it? Is Jon Moxley going to get stabbed? Are they going to cut his Achilles tendon? Is he going to be shot in the ring? Like, there's a limit to this shit. Oh man, The Rock might drop the people's elbow, but it's a fun move. You catch the elbow pad, you cheer, you pop, the match is over, everybody goes home. Like, I don't really want to watch people pull nails out of their back and bleed. And these dudes are old too. This is just lame. This is fucking lame.
Listen, and this is coming from a dude who likes AEW, right? And before even getting to the nail on the thing, the John Moxley in general right now is just pissing everybody off. Their main event at the latest pay-per-view overshadowed how good the actual pay-per-view was, and then they go on TV and they do this shit. And listen, Jeff and Kendo, we all love wrestling. It's a thing that binds together, and we all love it from different places too, right? And from the perspective of a guy who loves, I love the carny history of pro wrestling, right? So it's back in the day, and these dudes fight, and every once in a while, when it's not a worked fight, they'd have someone in the crowd come out, and or some dude would say some shit, and they'd be like, okay, bitch, you think that you're real? You think that this is a game? Come over here and try to win this title. And they would fuck people up. And I appreciate that history of the sport. I do. As a fan of it, I understand it. But at the same time, back at that time, Negroes weren't allowed to get water in the same water fountain. That doesn't mean that we keep bringing, showing people, yeah, man, it's still like old school wrestling. Like we still, dudes get hurt. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that. And it's dumb. And listen, I like John Moxley. Not right now, but overall, what he said, his career and where we've been and all that, we had our own little draft. I drafted Dean Ambrose because the dude was WWE champion at the time. I don't want to see that, John. You're not Mick Foley. Mick Foley and Terry Funk didn't have a baby, and you're not him. Wrestle, bro. We don't want to see that. That's stupid. And it's just dumb. Just the thought process is dumb. If I'm fighting a dude for a championship that he's been hiding, and I bring this out, what's just stopping me from bringing a gun or bringing a bat?
Thank you.
Yes.
Busting him over the head at the beginning of the match. It doesn't make sense to do that. And it just looks gross. In CZW, we all love watching the clips, man. But it's stupid. It's a stupid part of wrestling. Nobody wants to see that. Even the people who say that they do don't want to see that all the time.
I'm glad we're all good.
I was going to say, I've got this litmus test. So I'm from St. Louis, a hotbed of wrestling. Big deal back then. My grandmother grew up watching wrestling at the Chase. Mm-hmm. And she eventually got to the age where she realized it was a work. Grandfather, too. He watched wrestling at the Chase. And they would allow me to watch wrestling as a kid because we'd get on Channel 11 and Channel 30, watch a lot of it. They understood by the time I was watching wrestling, they were in their 60s. They're well aware that this is all a work and all this, and it's a gimmick. I was watching WrestleMania 10 on a videotape, and my grandma came in when Shawn Michaels fell off a ladder and crotched himself and got tangled in the rope, and Razor Ramon climbed the ladder and got 2 belts down. My grandmother asked me, why are they using ladders and how come there's 2 belts? And I was able to explain to her how it was for the real Intercontinental Championship, that Shawn Michaels was not the champion, claimed to be the champion. Razor Ramon was the real champion, and this was a match to determine the real champion. So they put the belts up really high. This is 10-year-old me explaining this. And that whoever was able to climb the ladder and get the belts was the undisputed champion to settle the dispute over the belt. I never had to explain to him that The Undertaker was actually not really dead, because I figured they knew that, and they knew that was my favorite. But I call this the grandma test, because even as an adult that would still watch wrestling on occasion, grandma would catch it, and she would ask me questions, and I was able to explain it in a logical wrestling way that would make sense to a lady in her twilight years that had understood wrestling. I call it the grandma test. If I could explain this to my grandmother in a way that made logical sense to her, then it was good wrestling, or at least made sense in the terms of wrestling. I would not be able to explain to my grandmother why a guy is allowed to have a board with a bunch of nails in it and why it's conveniently located underneath a ring or something like that. That was the problem I ran into with a lot of the hardcore matches with why is there kendo sticks underneath a wrestling ring? How do those fit into wrestling? I mean, finding a trash can, that makes sense. Hitting somebody with a belt, that makes sense. Hitting somebody with a ring bell, yeah, you could be a really bad guy and go outside the ring and grab the ring bell and hit somebody. I was able to explain cage matches. I was able to explain Hell in a Cell matches. I would not be able to explain this. I would not be able to tell my grandma, this is why this guy has a board with nails in it, and this is why the referee is allowing this. This is why the wrestling company is not stopping this from being able to happen. And then if she were to ask, well, if he's allowed to have this, how come the other guy doesn't bring a knife or a gun? Good question. I can't explain that. And that's where we're at with this particular thing. I can't explain why John Moxley's running around with a board with fucking nails in it and is allowed to use it in a wrestling match. Sorry. Doesn't pass the grandma test. I can't explain this. This is bad.
I mean, I don't disagree with the grandma test. My grandma test would have been for like Batman because my grandma was pretty cool in that regard. But I like some of the hardcore stuff. It's just something about this. I don't want to say it's too real because that's not the problem. I don't think John Moxley offers anything but this, and it's just a game of escalation. And like
Exactly.
you gotta do something else, bro. I want these guys to work and live, and honestly, I want Edge to go fuck this and go back to the WWE just as a Legends deal. Like I want him in the games, I want his action figures, all that shit. Like Edge, 2 thumbs up. Love Edge, one of my all-time favorites. Mox, a little bit. I mean, he's from Cincinnati, so he has that card. But I'm really glad that we all came from different angles of why we didn't like this segment because it just AEW's got to do better. Between this lame ass Ricochet slapping a dude in the face as he sits Indian style on the ground, like they really need to up their game. Because for as much as I'll bitch about WrestleMania ticket prices, that Cena promo was good. The CM Punk promo the other week was good. The CM Punk cage match was like, Dion, you know I don't like CM Punk because I met him and he was a dick. I'm on the CM Punk train. This dude's performing every week and entertaining me. Fucking Roman Reigns, the dude I used to hate with a passion. I'm on board with Roman Reigns. It's me saying that shit.
Jesus Christ, man.
I know, right? They got to do something right once or twice. But if you take the ticket prices away and you take out the Jey Uso main event push because that ain't working, I am all on board with Jey Uso and the Tiffy Time Charlotte match. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with my WWE. I went out of my way to watch Raw at like 3 p.m. I'm going to do it next week at 4. It's the WrestleMania season, and AEW should up their game. Instead of having Tony Storm beat the shit out of Mariah May and bleed on TV, or have John Moxley get stabbed in the back, like put on a banger of a match and stop with the stupid crap. Stop with the stupid crap. And yeah, folks, on this date, 3/21/25 at 12:14 a.m., I finally acknowledge the tribal chief.
OTC.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It finally happened.
His older theme song was better in every regard, though, dude. The one he had before this one, that shit was good. That's what made me like Roman Reigns. It's like, his theme song's awesome. All right. I want to hear him walk out to the ring. Cool. Yep. All right. Oh, I got to say, this show stays fun each and every week. That's why we've done 436 episodes. On our way to 500, folks. Number 500 is going to be a special event. Promise me, guys, we'll move this. We'll move the date, but we should do episode 500 together in person. Like we should make that happen.
Let's pre-record it from the stabbing cabin and just not tell anybody. And then
that was my original plan.
Then we can just re-release it and just have the night off.
I mean, I'm down.
Hey, that'll work too. But definitely filming it together in the same place for sure.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, yeah, it's been 4 years since we've been in the same room together. It's been a long time.
It's my fault. Actually, I blame my wife. It's her fault.
It is her fault, and I'm your friend. I will blame her too.
That's fine. You'd be like, hey. She totally, Ted offensive to your ass.
Ted offensive.
She fucking made you get a new job that was better than your old job, and then she made you get a new job that was better than your old job and paid more. And she moved you to the middle of the desert, surrounded by everybody. You were in the Custer seat, and then you get moved on to a different situation where you're in Sin City with all the glitz and glamour that goes with it, and
can't touch anything.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I can't enjoy it the way I want to. But she gives me that little bastard over there. Although technically, we were married at the time. So when he was born,
Right,
so he
exactly.
got in under the wire.
Got it under the wire.
So
His parents were together. Damn it.
yeah. So you can blame her because she's the reason why we haven't seen each other in 4 years. I will go to the fucking mattresses on that one, literally and figuratively.
Well, that's how you got your kid.
I would say you already did, buddy. I didn't think you wanted another kid just yet.
Well, the fun thing is, I did the math on that one. That probably happened when we were all under the same roof. Not in the same room, at Loudy's wedding.
Loudy wedding, baby. Yes. I already liked your kid, but that's awesome.
I did the math on that one the other day because I was thinking about
you were curious. You were curious.
Kid's birthday's coming up next month, and Doof was in town, and his brother, my nephew, just had a birthday last month, and we were talking. I forgot exactly how it came on, but it was essentially my kid's birthday is the same day as Dale Earnhardt's birthday, and then it turned into your brother's birthday is the same day as Daryl Waltrip's birthday. He's the cousin winner of this family. We prefer Dale Earnhardt over Daryl Waltrip. Redneck shit. I'm not going to explain it. And then.
Don't worry, we don't.
I started doing the math on it because originally his birthday was going to be like May 19th, which I did not want that to happen because
May 19th.
That's a wrestling thing involving Kane. And
May 19th.
But then when he was born, they were like, oh, he's early. But this kid was like fucking 7.5 pounds. I'm like, he is not early. He is on time. And so the other day I was bored and I was drinking. I'm like, let me do the math. And I extrapolated. And I'm like, it technically, that would have happened in July of 2021. What was going on in July of 2021? Oh, she came to visit me at Camp Kendo. We went to Lottie's wedding. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Lottie's wedding was when I put one past the goalie and I got this thing 9 months later.
So, business.
I did the same thing at Loudy's wedding. Luckily, I don't have a kid because
I'm not complaining. He's cool most of the time.
Yeah, but you ended up in a better situation. I would have been in hell. So
that's true.
Yeah. Very
I think
true.
I would have left the country.
Oh my god!
Like I'd never hurt myself or commit anything like that.
Carry.
Yeah, but my God, would I change my name to like Lester Fitzgerald and I'd move to like Nova Scotia? You'd never this show would die. Everything would go away. I would write books under a new name.
We would get handwritten letters. Dear Dion,
Dearest Nick, I have survived the death of whatever. I'm hiding out in Nova Scotia away from the the mistakes I've made. Come visit your friend Lester. I'll just draw a picture of my face underneath it. Like, oh, it's Jeff. Cool, he's alive.
Yeah, we all come visit you in Nova Scotia
1885.
In Nova Scotia summer. It's summer for like 2 days.
Yeah, the Stabbin' Cabin. You come up for the Stabbin' Cabin in the summer on the lake. It snows. We're stuck for 6 months in like 12 feet of snow. We write our next shows, our books, everything. We're back to we're back to normal.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy the Tuesday show, but I love the Thursday show. This is why this fucking works. So anything else that you guys want to say before we go? We've been close to 4 hours. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's cut it off. I was going to say we should talk about Novocaine, but
Oh, what we should do is you and I should sit down and just talk about it in the
I
next
agree.
week.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was a good movie.
It was good.
I really don't have any desire to listen to Nick talk about anything, let alone a movie.
Fair enough. I'm fucking tired right now too. Anyways,
Nova Scotia Jeff has a 6-foot beard. Actually, I'll just change my name to Buffalo Jeff and fuck off. That's it.
I think of you always.
No,
Sandler,
you're in Nova
man.
Scotia, Canada. You're Beaver Jeff. It's different.
You're Beaver Jeff.
In Cincinnati, I'm Beaver Jeff too, but that's a topic for another time. So, folks,
Totally different type of Beaver.
Sorry for another adventure.
yeah, let's go build a dam together next week here on the channel. So, we're gonna get out of here. I'll be back Saturday with a brand new video. I've been doing some research. I've been getting back into the swing of things with everything. Now that the con's over, the books are mostly taken care of. We still got a lot of ones to sign, but I'm just a guy. But be on the lookout for this book, folks. I'm very thankful to everybody out there that sends in a message that tells me they like the book. It's nice to know that you enjoy Wokebusters so much. And in the coming weeks, Nick and I might do a little roundtable with the guys off. We'll record it off air, and we'll tell you about the reactions we had to Wokebusters, like the lady with the purple hair and the scooter that was too fat to walk.
Oh man, that was funny as shit.
Dion, that is not a joke. This lady tried to start shit with me at the con, and I pulled the race card, and she fucked off. I pulled it on another guy who tried the same shit, and then he bought the book out of guilt. I laughed my ass off as he walked away.
It was the funniest shit because like he saw Woke and like he was a little like fucking basement dweller, and Jeff being Jeff, was just like no, no,
Right.
you're not.
You don't even know what it's about, asshole.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit if you mistake our YouTube channel, but I put 3 years of my life into Wokebusters. If you don't get it right, get the fuck out. Like, I'm not going to listen to somebody go, oh, it's about this. Open the book, because I let everybody read the books at the table, and learn for yourself the truth. You're not the target. Everybody is. But, folks, I'm going to go. Dion's going to go. Nick and Kendo are going to go, too. We're all going to go to bed and get ready for the next couple of days of WCBS. But we know you love the show. We've been having a great time. So hit that thumbs up button. If you're listening in the future, share us all over social media. If all of you share, that'll help us in the algorithm. It's real easy to help WCBS get to that 1 million subscriber goal that we're shooting for. But until next time, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool. And I guess I'm cutting everybody else out because I clicked the button for this. Fuck it, we'll do something else because goddamn StreamYards. But always be excellent to each other.
.com.
Free.